Meow.
Hello.
Meow.
Hello. Test, test, test. That's living down under. So you've got to get
That is
used
it.
to that.
Well, if you don't, they'll fuck you up.
It will. I mean, give you a little bit of a
Puss.
touch up. Eh?
That's it. A
You
little
weren't
bit of
taking
touch. Yeah.
notice. You weren't taking notice of what
Yep.
they were trying to tell you. A little sweet.
That's right.
Now it's time just to come in and take our little gram of flesh.
The gram of flesh. Oh, hang on, I better
Gram
get
of
my
flesh.
silencing on.
I don't take that much.
It's
It's not like a pound. Don't take a pound. Eh?
I don't take much.
True.
I don't take much. You know. It's a little bit. What do they
End
take?
of season. End of season.
What?
Yeah, number 13, season 4.
How?
We're going to do another season on Twitcheroony. Twitter, Twitty Twitches.
I don't know. What do you think? It's interesting.
Well, we did how many on three seasons on the tubicles. So.
Do we? Well, I mean, we've talked about doing an Instagram season, but
that's it. That'll be interesting. That'll be a definite.
I mean, I think
challenge again. We like challenging ourselves for some reason, don't we?
We do. I mean, we would end up with a. I mean, the thing about being on Instagram is
every day's a
videos
Pepsi challenge in our eyes.
That's 2 liters or nothing, bro.
That's it. It's either 2 liters or you can go home with your tail between your leg.
Can of Coke.
Go home and stroke off with your can of Coke.
That's it.
It's either Pepsi challenge or 500 mils for you and go home.
Go home.
The red can. You've been red canned.
Oh, red canned. Wow, that's a thing. Hey?
It's worse than the red card. Demoted to swabbing the decks and shit. Hang on, can't get too feisty too early, can we? It's like
no, apparently not. I mean, I don't know. We've lost it pretty early sometimes, though. I mean, I'm not sure.
But as long, I guess as long as it's in context and not just
a string of expletives,
extreme stakeness or whatever.
Because you're just like lame with words or overly emotional
or noticized. Yeah. So, finally, another week of Friday Part 2, but over.
Yeah, I had a Friday Part 2 today actually as well. I'm also on Friday Part 2. Yeah, I work from like
dual Friday Part 2. So I like
man,
it.
I work from 9. I work from 9 in the morning till fucking 3:30 in the afternoon. Not quite as long as you, but like actual. And so yeah, my Saturday's tomorrow, and my Sunday is the other one.
Sunday. That's what I call
Saturn
it.
Sunday.
Saturn Sunday.
And then
Sun's Monday. See, I do the double inclusion of that, and then the 3 days are covered. So yeah, good.
Sun Monday.
Some Monday.
Some Monday. Sun Monday. Some Mondays.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Change the calendar. After.
So
don't want to anger the gods, all right?
Fucking gods. You had to start me off, didn't you?
Come on. Let's not make this religious, all right? Don't worry about political. Just let's not make this religious.
Yeah.
It's good to get it out. It's good to get it outside, regardless of what denomination you're from, you've got to have an entertainment police or see the silliest sides of our face or whatever they would want to call it.
I was listening to somebody the other day, and they were looking up some words that had religious relationships.
True.
To a religion, right? Yeah, so yeah, specific items of thing for the religion, and then they're looking up the definition of the things, and then one of the definitions said like something around blah 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 of the to the king or God/God. No, well, there you go.
Normally
Fucking tells you everything.
if you're going to be a king, you've got to be the God, aren't you? Worship
yeah.
above me. Do as I say, else
But look,
stormtrooper time.
In the once this sort of went beyond animism, and we started to sort of make city-state religions.
Yeah.
Which sort of and then say the multiple gods for different sort of things. You might have had like a couple, which would actually show like more strength. Like if your city, but if your city only had one god, like you're like that's a pretty pissy little city. You need someone comes in, you're like, oh, you've only got one god.
All of them.
We got 12 gods.
Yeah, that's
like,
it. We got the whole,
this city's amazing.
Got the whole astral charts worth.
Bunch of chat, yeah. And also that's one thing. Next thing is like you got like so kings die.
Yeah.
And so if you have a city state, once you've got an accumulation of people and they're operating under a way of being, and that way of being is being sort of set by a person, like, oh, fucking plant the crops this way, winning. Well then they die, and then what? And so
it's only
we then move
sort
on.
of remember, isn't it?
But then we move on and we iconify them.
Yeah.
So that then
the next
turning
one, the teachers into gods. Yeah, of course.
Well, because then, but then you turn them into a statue, right? That sort of looks cool. So it's whoa, that's a bit trippy. But then, because otherwise, you don't like. So the next king isn't really the god because he like even if it was the sun, he's not the same person. But then if the sun can point to the thing and go, oh, he went into the thing. Look, he's like the thing now. And so the thing about the statue had like endurance, and so the idol. Right, so the idol would endure beyond the teachings of the individual, and then we could ascribe the teachings and make them longer term, but to a physical object.
Yeah.
So then the next thing that started happening was then, as this was sort of like the way around the place, then as there was like a lot of conflict as well, it's because people wanted to like push their ways of being onto other people, as is always the way.
The eternal struggle.
Then they would just take the thing. They'd raid the place, and then they would demonstrate things like they would take the things away. Oh, your god fucking got punched in the face, and its face broke off. Not much of a god. And so, so then they'd be like, oh my gosh, yeah. So and sometimes they would take them back for trial. So you'd cart the statue back, and then you'd have your wise folk stand around pointing at the statue, accusing it of things, which it was seemingly unable to defend itself against. Because clearly it was in wrong. And so then the next step we took.
Tuning us, I don't clip out too much.
And so the next step we took, because that wasn't real cool. Like some people are starting, hey, they're fucking taking people's gods and shit, and just smashing them.
Oh yeah.
So what if
you can only use ours? That's it.
Well, so then we virtualize the god. And I've said this shit before, but so the next step is we virtualize the god.
The one that doesn't have the things.
You can't smash the you can't destroy it.
Whatever.
It's
always there.
That's not anything. It's always
it's just not what you can break.
Oh, and how long has it been around? Oh, forever.
Mm.
Yeah, as long as we can remember, longer.
Yeah, that's it. Well,
it was the one who made all the things, made us.
That's what we
because that would be also the stories, like the maker of the city, the maker of the area, And so you look at this natural progression of like trying to protect your way of being, essentially, and so that you make sure that it continues on. So that like knowing how to bake bread, nothing's not a bad idea. Like you want to make sure that baking bread doesn't get forgotten.
That's right.
And
leavened or unleavened bread. That's correct.
So you ascribe it to these things, and then they virtualize the things. This is very interesting, And so well, since after we left animism, which was actually where we saw God in nature.
in
you know,
everything
and
because
in
it is,
everything,
you know,
because because
essentially,
we
you know.
are. It is the same one. Come on. I mean, even the modern ones
Every
say that they take the
every
bit from it.
instance of what is, and was and will be is,
Mm.
basically
So,
the numero uno in disguise.
hmm. So, I mean, that's a way of saying it. We'll accept that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, and but once we moved to past that, we actually fucked that up and just made it like, oh no, that was the king. And then you look at all, like even in the Christian Bibles, they talk the Christian books, they talk about all this crap. Like it's like,
Mm.
you know, like they interchange the words Lord and God and things. Well, what the
Yeah,
fuck is that?
yeah.
It's the king.
It's
It's the
fairly
king.
flexible. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so no,
Fairly
well, no, it's just
flexible,
super obvious.
Just
Oh no,
change
but
just
the God's
change to
got three
suit
names.
the
No, God doesn't. It's the
the
Lord.
current owner.
Basically, it's like, you know, yeah, fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So and then one other little interesting thing, like was little but long,
Mm.
was how uh was Egypt.
Yeah.
So Egypt was big on
The
this
many
stuff.
centuries that it sort of lasted, hey.
Or thousands.
Yeah.
So there's two periods of Egypt, right? There's like
Enough
the old
time to
one,
put some rocks together
the old. Oh,
in
well,
a
that didn't take very
rather
long.
celestial sort of format.
That looked like take 20 years.
Yeah.
Like some of the buildings, some of the houses I've seen, like around where I live in Sydney, they can take 2 to 3 years to build. I
Yeah.
mean, and we're in the modern day. You
Mm.
get a
Mm.
gigantic pyramid, and it'll take 20 years. Like we actually got
Damn.
slower at building
Yeah,
things.
yeah, true. We take our time, which is very sad.
well,
I mean,
well, because you're sitting around a bit scratched because you want to make a bit more money. There's no imperative. But like I mean, I've seen houses around where I am.
and
I
just,
think take like
people
3 years.
are pretty weak
Mine was
these
three
days,
years.
man.
Oh,
People are pretty
oh,
weak.
hey!
You know what I
Look at
mean?
you.
Like,
Get freaking topical already. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the thing. So in the beginning, there was just a bunch of tribes in Egypt just running around doing shit. They started to consolidate, develop ways of being,
Mm.
and then they're going to get some unification, but only in the north of sort of near the Mediterranean and the south. So there's two, Upper and Lower Egypt, and then they kind of merge, and they have lots of conflicts, and they become one Super Egypt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but in the Super Egypt, of course, like with any nation, there's basically provinces. You know, like it's not like you've got provinces or whatever you want to call them, states or something within
Yeah.
within the empire.
Mm, mm, mm.
Whatever it is, the
The
Pharaoh or some
individual
shit.
parts, yeah,
So
essentially. The orgies.
so there was this period of time between the old and the new, like the ancient Egypt and the new Egypt. There's particular names, I can't remember what they are. It was the pyramids were in the ancient time, and
Well, it'd be the length of the king's reign, queen's reign, depending
what's
on
that?
it was. Well, the epoch for the, you know what I mean, like
Oh yeah, no, but I'm
they
talking like
look at it. They would go, oh, it's, this king had this much time as the ruler. Whether he passed his name down to another a similar name to him to keep the name going longer, or
Hmm.
who knows, eh? Truthfully.
Well, no, 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 true. But
Yeah.
so the thing was that they in the transition between old Egypt, where things like pyramids and stuff were built, and then the sort of the modern or the new era of Egypt, which is not the current era.
No.
It's like the old and new
Yeah,
kingdom. Anyway,
yeah.
I've forgotten the names.
The very old kingdom. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So in that
Because they
period of
weren't they
time, there was a
just like
collapse.
Babylonian migration, like
Oh,
the
maybe.
from where that first source, where they were talking about
Well, they were still
they
messing with
sort of
Nubia.
just spilled out from that first source and then took over particular areas, and then
Maybe, but
depending on their forces was how much they owned in land and how much they could dominate.
yeah. And this is, well, I don't
Essentially,
know. This is
yeah,
probably an assumption, definitely, but
yeah. Oh, we'd
I'd
love to see.
say we do. I can see like mobs just hanging around it. Like, I mean, people could have come over from the sort of Euphrates,
Mm,
but anywhere there's a river, like so,
yeah.
there would have been
Like
people all up and down
shipbuilding
the.
wasn't. I think shipbuilding was pretty much after you discovered the fire and how to kill things and stick the product of the dead thing on your body for protection. I mean, the shipbuilding would have pretty much come straight after that.
Pretty much,
So
yeah, I
they
think
would have
so.
been tremering everywhere along the
Up,
coastlines to
yeah, and up the rivers and stuff.
figure out
So,
their what they dominate and
so
what they rule over, wouldn't they?
I just don't know that
Yeah,
the Babylonian sort of the I'll just say the Euphrates, like sort of that needed to come over to the Tigris
yeah,
because, or the oh no, the Nile. Sorry, is it the Euphrates? Yeah, the Nile because like there would have already been people on the Nile
yeah.
for a lot, like forever, like um but maybe there was like but I do also feel like there would have been merging there, and also from the south, like the Nubians and other people would have been coming up.
True.
But anyway, what I was trying to say was just
Emigration
that
from other
after the unification, there and in the period between the unification and like ancient Egypt and then sort of the more modern era of ancient Egypt, there was a dark period.
yeah,
And in this dark period is sort of what happened was as the pharaoh's power collapsed, and it sort of splintered, and so all of the regional provinces, they're kind of, and it sort of started was that hang on, yeah, so the final pharaoh of that last era, he started to like distribute power, like the model has started to shift,
yeah.
and it was started to give regional governors more power.
Mm, mm,
So then
mm.
when he like
Well, I
finished
mean,
up,
with that's what you want to do if you want a large kingdom. You've got to distribute
you do,
the
yeah, well,
authority.
you've got to put authority,
Lines
yeah.
authority,
And then they get
authority.
slaves,
Yeah,
once
yeah,
they've
yeah,
got,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah, 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 that's it. So,
Look, I'm too far away. I give you the right to beat and
hmm,
get my taxes
in
for
my
me. Get
stead,
my taxes for me in my stead.
how
That's
would you
right.
like them to? How would you like me to beat them? Oh,
Well, I always beat mine very harshly, so I'd like you to, continue the tradition.
Hmm. So here's my go: is that so in that period, which is like 50 years, maybe a bit longer, maybe a bit longer,
True.
right? There was this period of time, and where the pharaoh sort of fell apart, and then
Mm.
all the regional governors, because they already had like all of their soldiers and shit, because they were doing that kind of thing for the pharaoh, they then started to build their own, well, I'm the pharaoh, I'm the pharaoh, I'm the pharaoh, and not necessarily against each other, but in their own regions.
Mm.
And so Egypt splintered into a series of like provinces that all
Separatist
sort of
states. That's
yeah,
it.
that's
In
declared them
within
all
itself.
independent.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
And then
And
then
then
there was
that,
a
but I mean
recombining.
that serves a purpose in itself because then there's trade
Oh,
between
it
those
did.
places. So, you know,
Well, it
in
did because
increasing that tax
one of
value of the,
those
coming across our border, you got to
one
throw
of
the little
those was
gold piece in the jar.
just over the river, you might say, just a little bit east, just past where the Suez Canal is, just a little bit up there. There was like one of the furthest sort of like, just to make sure that those Hittites and shit didn't come down causing trouble.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, it'd be a weapon.
So and then that governor, that area, well, they were a bit far away. So then there's this concept. So they were a bit far away from like the Tigris, sorry, the Nile. And so when the thing started to reform, they were sorting the shit out there along the Nile. And this sort of the things that were a bit more far flung away, they didn't have, and this also happened down in Nubia and stuff as well. And so, um, and they class themselves as independent. And so it just so happens that perhaps one of those governors was maybe around the Temple Mount,
Mm.
one of these provinces.
Had the experience.
And then it was sort of like
You know? Found them
cast
special
into the
mushrooms,
wilderness.
Si.
No, that was the city. There's
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
and the concept of being cast aside, wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, right?
yeah, yeah. Oh, the big walk. Yeah,
Is no big walk. It's actually just wandering the wilderness, like you're not connected.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
the
Wandering.
provinces,
Yeah, yeah. You're disconnected as a
you
province.
disconnect,
True. Yeah,
right? And so they
absolutely.
wandered around, and as they were figuring that out, and then they made their own story. And then by the time Egypt came back around, they're like, no, we're our own fucking people.
Yeah, yeah. We got
And they're
this.
like, no, you used to be our people. No, no, no,
Nah,
no, no,
man.
no.
Come on.
No, we've made up stories about
Yeah,
that
yeah.
now.
We got traditions now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
true.
There you have it. There's none of them have got fucking gods, Yahweh and fucking Allah and fucking Jesus. A bunch of Muppets.
Hey, hey. Come on. Settle.
Well, I don't know, but if you
We
want to,
we we love it because they are stories, Si. Okay,
yeah, but there's
and
stories
what
about
what
worshipping a king's
wonderful
dick.
story. What what
Like
wonderful
seriously.
stories they are.
So I don't know, you know, and yeah, and now we just treat them as real things. It's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, well, you know, you didn't suck our
Don't get
kids
sensitive about
4,000
it.
years
I
ago,
think
and you're
the
like,
real
oh,
common
gee,
lesson
no,
for it should be is you don't get hypersensitive. We've all got different views. Okay. You know?
no. Well,
Like I heard this one guy say today that we all have our own sun. Like when we look up and we see the celestial bodies, we all have
facts.
our own view of it because it is our own unique view of the celestial bodies.
Make no mistake, there are 8 billion realities called human versions of reality on this planet, man.
Of
There is not a
interpretation.
monolithic
That's
reality
exactly
going on.
right. So,
There's no
8
monolithic
billion, nine
reality.
billion interpretations of their own of whatever you want to call it,
Um,
creation,
talking of
manifestation, creation station, imaginarium, whatever label you want to put on it.
ooh,
You know?
Imaginarium.
Imagine
Meow, meow, meow.
material.
Meh.
But true.
Mm.
Like,
That's as the longer like I keep accumulating data, and all of the data just keeps pointing further and further into the absurdity
mm,
of the modern hallucinations around,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Because we've added so much premise to it. Like, I remember as a child, the reading Frankenstein and all these other different
Mm,
interpretations of reality through fiction.
mm, mm, mm.
And then that inspires thought inside your own mind of what your interpretation is.
It does. I loved reading. Hey, I
Yeah,
think I consumed everything I was given. Actually,
that's the best way. Like it is
everything.
your
I've read the
beginning.
Bible. I was given it. I read it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've read more than one actually. I've read multiple Bibles. I'm serious. I don't mean
Well,
like
you
same
don't get a
instances.
full picture until you do, and then you see
Mm.
where the
The
slight and
variances.
subtle
Mm,
variances are correct.
that's right. Yeah.
But there is a
Um,
common message to it.
and in the same way that we sort of do it with like, uh, you know, climate and geological data, and we start to like link the things together, and you're like,
Mm.
oh, this relate. Look at these things. They kind of like, well,
Oh,
that
when
was
this
that
is
him.
really hot, this other thing
Mm,
happens. When this is really cold, that thing happens.
mm.
Oh,
And so
okay.
if we did the
Or
same
there's
with
more
religions, we would
frequency of this.
discover
Yeah,
that that as you start to do that, and you go, oh, that actually dovetails into that. And I don't mean, I mean the major ones that like have, made sure they've pissed over everywhere.
yeah.
And
Those crumbs are absolutely soaked with the yellow. Correct.
that's right. Yeah. So that they, yeah, I mean, like, you do read their books, and then you say, yeah, okay, well, you're just like came from back there and stuff. And I'm not saying anything really original. And I think that my understanding of like how that's shift, and I'm actually quite proud, like the power
Well,
of
I'm proud of
virtualizing
our New Age religion, like the return of the whole,
animism.
metaphysical and that sort of thing.
I mean, I'm animist.
Yeah.
That's I didn't know, like, I didn't start out as anything, but then reality demonstrated.
Mm,
So
yeah.
then many years after demonstration and unwavering faith, I then figured out that that was atomism.
Yeah.
But
There is no God. We are just the interpretation of it, and and hence in doing so, it being itself.
ah,
Oh,
I
easy enough.
was wondering where you're going. Yes, likes it. Fucking
It's like
likes it.
the newest technology that they've been talking about, which is the light light speed interlinked photonic energies which create a new faster way than quantum. The two light bits are was it intertangled
What
or
what
into
entanglement?
yeah.
Quantum entanglement.
Yes, a brand new
Yeah,
is going to be designed.
I remember us talking
And
about like with
the
Shink.
entanglement looks exactly like the yin and yang, which is quite cool.
Yeah, I like how those things happen, like where
Mm.
you
Where
know
history
we've
has given us guidance, and then once
well we
we've gotten to a certain level, and then we create the thing which then generates the outcome,
It's
which
hard
is
for us to
exactly what
accept.
they've already known, but
Well,
it's the
we've had the similar
hand-me-downs,
capacity for what we allege to
ancient
be
hand-me-downs,
200,000 years or something like
Yeah,
that. So I mean, like
yeah.
it's like this, things we're able to have this amount of thinking
We realise
about
you're going to
stuff.
be up to this level. We left you with all this stuff that you could reverse engineer and use for your own benefit to benefit your culture, civilization. Most of you just squander it, and you
Yeah.
never share and make sure the advancement of that intellectual property is spread properly. Very sad. I know. Hey, it's
Talking of
being
which,
selfish, isn't it? Because in the modern age when money means, a dog pissing on a fucking tree,
mhm.
your information is the most valuable thing. What you what you've learned and why to generate whatever it would be, generate cash, generate interest, generate
Secretions.
secretions. That's right.
Well, talking about that, I guess not secretions so much, but more the generating. I didn't actually even. I mean, I suppose I sort of vaguely knew, but I should know, being a shareholder. But anyway,
Hmm?
I woke up and I was going to go down and do something down the road, and then I realized that the Tesla shareholder meeting was on,
Oh,
annual general meeting was on
yes.
this week, so I watched it.
Participated. Not,
Yeah, I watched it. No,
participated
I
by
voyed.
viewing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, if I'd there, I would have certainly made a comment. So you get to ask questions at the end. I mean, but it was interesting. So
Mm.
there was a bunch of proposals, like put forward by the board, usually shitty ones that, are very self-interested. And then there's a bunch of, things get put forward by the shareholder base
Yeah.
that sort of get put up. And then almost, no, I've never read, I don't think I've ever read anywhere. Anytime I've read a sort of one of these things where it's at a general meeting and there's the proposals coming up to be decided by the shareholders or the whatever, the membership, that the members' proposals are always the board always rejects all of them. Says no, you shouldn't approve this to the
Mm.
shareholder. It's like it's so fucking stupid. It's just like I just want to say that straight up. It's just
Well,
like
they
if your
wanted.
shareholders give you opinions and they're actually simple and smart, like have a annual independent check on whether you're being on workplace harassment,
Yeah.
or the board doesn't suggest this. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Why
Oh,
is that?
okay.
Why is that?
Oh, okay.
Why is
Oh, it's
that? Yeah.
expensive and distracting. That's what they'll just use some
Oh.
standard stupid
Oh.
freaking thing
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Pick it out of the cards. Pick one of
yeah,
them
yeah.
out of the.
That's right. The 5 options.
Yeah.
We don't like
We'll
it.
shuffle it around a little bit so it
Give us
looks
so no,
random.
we won't. Meh. Daddy didn't say so. So I didn't like that. But when I say, and this is some power, that interestingly enough, two of the shareholder things, which are significant, which was to do with board member terms and the way of voting on matters, did get through. And that was that. And I think that, like, if I don't know, like analysts sort of said a whole bunch of stuff about it, but that in itself, now, it's not that just some of the things were stupid, sure, whatever, but that actually, if you, if you,
Yeah.
yeah, like if two of the shareholder ones got through, that's amazing because usually it's zero. It's
Okay.
none get through.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just see that so frequently at shareholder meetings. It's just like, yeah, as if the little, but there two did get through. Anyway, Musk did get his $56 billion pay package.
Okay. Happy
And, but,
days.
well, shares, he can't do anything with them for 5
Hmm.
years. But now he can
But
turn
still,
around to,
happy days. I mean, you can say, "Hey, I've got these," and get money.
that's right. Now just, well, now we can say, yeah, that
We
money
know
I
how
owe you for
that
Twitter.
works.
There it is. Just chill out for 5 years. No worries. We'll chill out for 5 years. Thank you. Bye. you know, but that's helpful.
Yeah.
At the end, there was a couple of questions. I'm actually going to go from the front to the end to the middle.
Hmm.
So at the end, and now this is really okay. So I'm just going to give you 2 hints. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to give you 2 hints. You have no idea, of course, because you didn't watch it, did you? Right.
No,
Right. So here you go.
I don't
So
have I don't have shares.
in the first question and answer, in the question and answer, the first guy stands up. So as you may know, that and one of the things that was approved was the moving of incorporation from Delaware to Texas. Okay, so the incorporated state will be Texas.
Yep.
The meeting was held in Texas.
Yep.
It's the new home of Tesla.
Nice.
The first person who stands up, he doesn't ask a question of Elon Musk. He thanks Elon Musk for something. And the whole room cheers. What did he thank Elon Musk for? Texas person stands up. First thing he says, whole room cheers.
There
you go. Thank you for protecting the First Amendment, Mr. Musk. Your actions like defending the First Amendment, buying that thing and making sure that free speech is permitted in the world. And they're like, yeah, yeah. And it's just like, wow, go the red pill guys. You know, like really. I'm not against free speech.
Well, I mean, it's not red pill. Well, it is, but it isn't.
No, it actually isn't. But they're coming. The clowns were coming from the angle of that. But it was. But I mean, free speech. What are we doing right now?
Clowns,
what are we doing right now?
Come on.
What are we doing right now? This is free speech.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for it. Like, don't make any mistake. Like, if we don't have free speech, and someone's going to come out. I mean, I've had people come around for things that I've said.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's a good thing about getting your point of view across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had the federal police come around because I spoke. I had an opinion. But the rest of the questions were pretty banal.
Yeah.
Well, one was cool. It was like, can you get us a 12-seater van? And it was kind of funny because during the middle part, they showed like some, you know, we've got 3 more models coming, but they're cloaked, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of them looked like a van. It was either like a last mile van or which could be easily made into a 12-seater. And was some of the others were like, and the last one I heard was like, was lovely actually. The person said, hey, like I'm, you know, recently a shareholder and I live here and stuff. And I really look up, he said, I really look up to you. And I worry about you. I worry about your health and your well-being. And if you're being if you're looking after yourself and you're safe. Yeah. And Alan was like, it was so interesting because he was like on the stage, he goes, yeah, thank you. It was interesting because he really thought it through. He's like, yeah, thank you. I'm doing my best. I am like, I should go to the gym more. I need to work out. Like, it's terrible. And he goes, I'm not doing real good at that. And he goes, but yeah, and look, my safety actually, look, there's a lot of dangerous things happen. Like, you know, you got homicidal maniacs and they tend to go after the people who they hear the name most. And my name gets heard a lot.
Mentioned,
you know?
Yeah.
It says, you know, like
target.
John Lennon was just saying, be nice to each other. And one of his fans killed him, you know.
Pop. That's it.
So, you know, I'm trying to do something more weird than that, you know. And so it's a real thing. He said, yeah, I'm mindful of it. And and he had it was lovely though. He said this thing, which is when I said, I don't know, he goes, you know, yeah, homicidal maniacs. And he's well, you know, I mean, they just got to do what they've got to do. You know, we've all got to. Like
everyone's got a job.
It's got the career.
Best is just to stay out of the way of the ones that are a little bit, you know, a bit messy.
That's right. You got to stay. That's right.
Stay away from the messy jobs.
What I found interesting though was the middle bit. Most of what Ellen said was just waffle.
Yeah.
It was either old waffle I already knew or stuff that he really went into this spaces like of the future, and it talked about like full self-driving 12.4 and 5 and what they're doing with that, hardware 4, hardware 5, where they're up to with internal processing. It talked about like models for like robotaxi mode or like fleet mode. He said, yeah, I got it. But then he goes on, he says like automation alone would make us like, and then he just, I don't know, like you and I could say like, you know, I've said to you, like, you know, I say with automation of robotics, that if we look at the current world and where you've got around 1 billion people living like, you know, better than kings did.
Yes.
In the years past, how do we do that?
Yeah. Well, we do that.
You have 7 slaves. Yeah. You need 7 slaves for 1 person. And that's why we have 8 billion people with 1 billion fucking having good and the other 7 billion kind of bit shit. And degrees of shitness. And if we want to have all 8 billion in the future more, like actually sustained in all like, you know, better than kings of the past, then we'll need 7 slaves for each of them.
Yeah.
And so
Sadly,
you know,
that's
my estimates at the moment would be we need 56 billion robots. And they'll come in different forms. But it was interesting because Elon did the same math, right? That he actually did it.
I
But
can
he
hear
was
it.
like,
Yeah.
he actually was on the stage going, well,
Like
we've got
you
this
know,
many people on the planet.
some of the ideas do make sense. That's right. It's not
Well, and he
making
was
sense.
like, oh, he said, oh, well, we'd all want one each, wouldn't we? But he didn't think it through
At
properly
least.
about like, and he said
But,
maybe
yeah.
we'd need two. So maybe we need like about 20 billion robots. 10.
Mm.
See, we'll need somewhere between 10 and 20 billion
Mm.
humanoid robots. I think he's wrong. I think we need 70 billion. 52 billion, right, whatever I said. Like we need like 7
A
per.
lot more.
Yeah, we need 56 billion. I think at the moment, and it'll go up. We'll need 70 billion by the time there's 10 billion of us. And and so his estimate of like only 20 billion robots, and he sort of said, well, and if we only did 10% of the market, we only get 10% of the market. And he said, and they're worth $20,000 each, like as retail, and we're selling them for 10, so we're making 10k profit. Well, not profit because there's R&D and all this stuff, it's not actual profit. But then so he comes up with this thing and he says, and I think if you want to look at the true value of Tesla over time, then you've got to look at like this particular ARK fund and what they say. And then he comes out on stage as the CEO of that company and says, automation alone will get us up to a $5 trillion company. And by 2029, with robotics, we'll be a $25 trillion company. It'll be hard work to get there, but we're going to have a $25 trillion market cap. And that was on his estimate. Now, I think he's wrong because I think that there's actually 7 robots per person. But anyway, not 2. And so I think it's much higher, but the percentages also break down. But anyhow, point being,
because as soon as you
if
got
you're
one,
the CEO, I mean,
up.
like I've said that to people saying, I think that Tesla will be worth, $30 trillion. I've already said that to people, but and for the same reasoning, as him. And I said the same pricing as 20 grand. I think that that's pretty much the mark that will be and the first ones might even be a little higher, but you want the volume. And
and I mean, once you get
you want it to be less than what it costs to hire
out there
for a year.
Basically, the initial I want it first is we'll have to pay the price always.
Yeah, I think it's slightly irresponsible. I mean, it's a forward-looking statement, and so that should be treated as such, and not with like all accuracy. And he said it would be hard work to get there. Whether we have, but I don't know, like saying to a retail, like, because so many of the shareholders of Tesla are retail. Like that guy, like, I look up to you, Elon. Oh, tell me to buy more shares. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, you turn around and say that, if you say that the share price is going to go up 50 times in 6 years, like it's worth half a trillion now.
Yeah.
And there's going to be 25. That's 50 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If it goes up by 2029, 50 times,
yeah.
my one share of Tesla that I bought, right,
Yeah.
which is now split into like 15 or something, right? Like, I'll have like $1 million of Tesla shares.
Yeah.
We'll fucking retire, bro.
Yeah.
We're retiring in 2029.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
the government. It's like we'll only be able to buy like two-minute noodles with that $1 million, but we'll be right. It's like 2-minute noodles, bit of a fucking car, live off the land. Do it, man. Yeah, you'll survive with $1 million in roadkill. But
live like a king.
Best investment of my life.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually higher. I actually think it's higher. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I just think it's irresponsible. But it's interesting when we're talking about gods and kings, and that the kings wrote down the person who came up with the idea became the leader because of the idea, and then people believed the idea, and then they wrote the idea down. So in their death, it would continue on.
Yep.
And in that death, then they made like a statue to the thing. Like in the thinking, like Elon Musk is probably going to be made into a god. I'm not saying I want to.
No,
but the treatment. But if you're like people, I hope you're doing well. My firstborn to you, Elon. will work in the factory as like, you can just use them as spare parts for the bioorganic machines that you're coming in the future. Oh, yes, thank you, shareholders, for your firstborns. But I just see it. Like I just see like people already. I mean, in debt, like
You'll give some say, but
it's been a week of stuff, man. Like
I
like that's
know, I
know I'm
know.
ranting around. I'm
No,
taking up a lot of
it's good.
airtime here
No, it's
myself,
good.
but
It's
like,
good. Yeah,
but here's the other thing I want to say.
happy to
So he
listen.
gets us asked this question about like the person didn't know how to ask the question, right? If I was there, I would have changed the freaking. Geez, he would have like had a brain snap on the spot. But
Yeah,
this guy kind of asked this question around like the goals of if the goal is to electrify the fleet of the world and blah 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 blah. And Ellen was thinking about it, and Ellen says, "Well, look, the problem is like he knows the problem, right? So Ellen was interesting. Ellen knew the problem, but
yeah.
he said, basically, there's no lack of demand for a Model Y. The problem is that we're now running out of people who can afford one."
Yeah.
And he said, and he starts musing in his head, and you're like, oh, we could get the price down, but we'd never get it down to 20. It'd be very hard to get that down to 20,000. We have to do, and it's going to take a lot more time. And it was interesting watching him kind of struggle along with like how to do it. And like, if I was there, I would have just been like, stop selling cars.
Yeah.
Because the other half of it was, he was saying, right?
Self-generated.
No, don't just, if people can't afford cars, you can't sell them to them. We talked about this before. Like you need to lease, they need to be able to lease it from you.
Yeah, yeah.
I could have a Tesla next week for $250 a week. Come on, Ellen, I'll buy one next week. I'll give you $250
Be that
forever. There you
income
go.
stream.
You want more money in your company? Happy
Bam, bam,
days.
bam,
Make it
bam,
go.
bam.
Go on. How many people do you think in Australia can afford that?
Well, they're happy.
Well, they can afford 250.
Batteries. Yeah.
Maybe you
True.
can't, and that's
True.
fine. It still doesn't mean everyone. But this point of like going, he's like, oh, how do we get it more affordable? Well, if your goal is to electrify the fleet, then fucking electrify the fleet.
Yeah.
You just took a $56 billion pay pack. I bet you can get a $200 billion loan on it. Make all the cars with your own freaking money. Like, go on, invest in your belief. Drop 200 billion. Just go to a thing. Go, you 200 bill? Yeah, no worries. Just turn that all into cars. And you will. And the point being, because the thing which was broke my, like, I was just like, God, can't you work it out? Why you're not figuring it out? And it said, because he's like, oh, that, and then now we're going to do the robo taxi, and you're like, there's a halfway point. There's this halfway point, between robo taxi and that, and all of the, and it's sort of like, and he keeps talking
That's more
about
driver data, correct?
no, but the robo taxis will all be Tesla owned. So he says basically our fleet of robo taxis will be Tesla owned vehicles, and then anyone who owns a Tesla vehicle. Yeah, so they'll be Tesla owned. And then if you're a Tesla owner, you can click a button at any time and add it to the fleet temporarily. I'll give it back to the fleet for a week. You make money as the owner. Tesla makes money, right? Happy days. And but right in the middle there are these people who would basically go halfway, and you would have so much money pouring in. The thing is that you're going to have to up the upfront to build the cars because they're now all on. But that's the same as the robo taxis. So he's got the idea of the robo taxi. So he understands because who's going to pay for them? He's going to have to go get a loan and build them, and then they're going to have to make the money back from fares, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's how it works, right? That's how a taxi is. So the one in between is just a taxi you keep all the time. And so he could have revenue coming in.
Exactly.
Well, when you're not using it as part of the deal, it just goes automatically to Tesla. Like they still make money, but you're also giving them money that pays off the like. It's just like those factories that he's fired people is dumbass. He should have all of those factories working flat the fuck out. And on the stage, he was trying to nut it out. It was interesting watching it. I'm just standing there going, why aren't I there? If I was there, I would have asked the next freaking question, and then I would have stacked it for him going, well, you just said this, and you just said that, and you said they can't afford it. So why don't you make it so they can afford it by not selling cars and just having your whole own fleet? And it's just basically two levels. And I mean, essentially what I'm talking about is robotaxi. But it's just a halfway point. You don't need a different vehicle. It doesn't need to be a robo-taxi. It could just be Model 3s and whatever you're lacking, whatever your spare capacity is, fill it up. And away you go. I won't go on more about it. I talked about it extensively a few weeks ago. But it was interesting listening to him talk about it. And just trying to figure it out live on stage.
I mean,
it was fun.
That is a.
Well, I think the thing is, if you jump straight to robotaxi, you're just missing out on a whole bunch of potential people who would be willingly paying one off from you and own it, while giving it back to you to make more money as well as a robotaxi. Like, why
It'd be
not
nice
have
to
that
get dropped to your address and then it goes off and does its
Yeah, I don't
thing.
need my car right now. It's
Yeah,
irrelevant. I need it
sitting down there just
I
parked
don't
up,
even know.
taking
Yeah.
up, occupying space.
Yeah, waste.
Could be free space because it's out doing.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the Tesla shareholder meeting. I hope he doesn't get in trouble for saying it'll be a $25 trillion company. I mean, it is a forward-looking statement. You can't, and he did qualify it by saying somebody else said it, Kathy or whatever her name is from ARK Invest. Oh, fucking man. Wow. I mean, I could just leap straight into Apple Intelligence, but let's talk about other stuff first.
No. Let's go to Apple Intelligence because we want to try and keep some talking offline about the whole it flowing in direction where we discuss about. Then we'll.
Yeah, but
Easy.
I'm taking all the
I don't
surely.
mind though. I'm munching in the background anyway.
All right,
I'm
all right,
terrible.
okay.
I'm hooking down some toast right now.
Nice. Did your pizzas come?
Yeah.
Yeah, I needed a little extra bit. I made my soup for the evening, and then I actually was so starving because I hadn't eaten anything else really. And then I made myself one piece of pumpernickel bread with a little bit of cheers.
I had a Subway 6 of.
Ah, what one? A meatball?
No, I did the.
Oh, is it like an extender?
Crab stick with.
Hey. Have you seen how those buckets are made? Hey, it's fucking great. Oh my gosh, that stuff.
I always ask you what you want for extra mayonnaise.
You need it. You need it with the.
Have you ever got avocado?
Sick? Oh, avocado, mayo,
Green in there.
and no tuna or anything like that. Just the seafood sticks. Any lettuce or something, or a bit of tomato maybe? Oh, salt and pepper. Would you like salt and pepper with that?
Just gets the ham one with bacon and toasted.
Yeah, right.
Salt and pepper.
Do you like salt and pepper with that?
Or meat.
I always went the what's the
Definitely not
honey mustard? Honey mustard? No, well, none of us are. Not even cows. I don't know if I told you I had a horse. Well, I didn't have a horse. My mother had a horse. Well, two horses actually. One was called Equus. Equus was wacky sometimes, and he would actually eat prawns.
Yeah.
And he'd just get this really like.
Didn't have any allergic reactions or anything to it.
No, I loved them a bit. Well, not loved them, but certainly like would eat a couple. And I think it might have been the salt. Wow.
Like that one?
Oh wow. That looks like
that's supposed to be a sardine crash. A crunch.
That looks like a Tesla shareholder meeting.
Is it? It looks
like that was the Tesla shareholder meeting.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go. That's what it looked like on the screen. Yeah, man. That's what I was watching. All the people were like, "You are our god," and then they had like all of the the executives and stuff in the middle. No, where are we? He is our god. We are bigger than you. He pays us, and then he's at the back going, "I pay you all." That's it. There it was. Man, that's fucking crazy. Wow, that actually is the Tesla conference. You've managed to be topical.
My decisions.
Yes. Or I am benevolent. I want only the best for us all. Accept it.
I promise to become vegetarian after I'm elected.
From my penis will explode lettuces for your mouths. Did that just
These are some of the AI ones that are generated. With the assumed news. Because I made 3, so I was saving the other 2 and then doing them.
What was the prompt? Well, what is the
prompt?
Was
Sydney concert crush people crushed like sardines, and then it generated this. The power of AI.
What is the giant one? What the fuck is it?
I know.
There's the people in the sun.
The Overlord.
Where did it think that up from?
The Overlord Barracuda.
Oh, is it? It is it's a Barracuda.
Definitely.
You didn't suggest a Barracuda?
No. It's just, like I said, I just pasted that whole prompt for the news item in there.
Oh, the Sydney Sardine concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Mm.
I mean, I like
getting talented, though. Like, I'm learning how to manipulate the prompts so that it can do things without feeling like it's hurting anyone's feelings, but then generate the image I want. You know, learning the tricks of the trade, as they say.
So, since you did go there like that, I made some big statements about Apple Intelligence last week, which I didn't call it that then, obviously, because I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah.
And
didn't
but
have the frame of the seeing what's been unveiled, basking in the glories.
Well, so there's two.
Because I do look forward to the Apple updates. Like it's
okay. So
they are.
So the thing about this is,
product.
This is really interesting, right? So remember, I said 2 things. One is the shit way, the sad way, the depressing, the way that of failure would be that it's all about Siri and it's just like this new thing and it's all like the Apple and the good way would be that they made the Apple platform into a platform for AIs.
Yeah,
and that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. And
Which
then the other thing I said was
a little bit cranky about because he wanted it at OS level.
No, he didn't. So what was interesting?
I think that's just going to be the reality of shit.
Well, it's the first one, but here you go. Right,
everyone's going to want to do it once it's installed and see how.
Oh, wait till you hear. Just once I've ranted for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
Fire. Know what's going So what WWDC is, I'm not saying the other thing people call it. I hate that. WWDC, I can say real words. Are that
we're nearly an hour in, so.
Oh yeah, but WWDC, I don't like things. There's two things I don't like at the moment that I can remember about like American abbreviating things. One is when they say dub instead of WW. It's like dub is when they punch somebody.
Yeah.
Just really, really hard. Like I'm not a fucking baby. Fuck off. Just call it WW.
Dub, sorry.
Yeah, I'll actually. Yeah. Where's my baseball bat? I want to smash the skull repeatedly. So it's like, your developers, come on. Do you think you can do that in programming? Just like, I might just call like a let statement, let's, because it sounds cooler. No, it's not going to fucking work, you idiot. Like, let's just say WW, morons. So anyway, with the WWDC, there's two keynotes. There's also a heap of then workshops. Yep. So being a developer conference. So the first keynote is the public-facing media circus event, where they announce the consumer-facing. What it is.
What they're going to throw in market. That's it.
I didn't even watch it. I read a few news articles about it in the morning.
You didn't want to get hypnotized by the hype.
No.
Just wanted the details.
Well, actually, to be fair,
yeah,
they're usually on a Tuesday, often Apple announcements, and I just thought that, even though WWDC is on a Monday, and so I just missed it by a day. I wouldn't have watched it at 3:00 in the morning anyway. I would have watched it at 6, but I just didn't bother. And then I just sort of read, that happened last night. And then I read the news reports, and I go downstairs, and my my colleagues I live with are like Whoa, did you see that? And I was like, I read about it. What, you didn't even watch it? I was like, nah, you didn't watch it. I was like, no, it was pathetic. I said it was boring, it's pathetic
Don't
thing.
need it.
What do we got? Oh, how innovative. You got like a generative, you've got a stable, you got a diffusion client that makes shitty little pictures that look like cartoons because, you it can't do it. You're not going to have stabbies and freaking Apple. You're not gonna, I look forward to trying to figure out how to nerf the Apple freaking diffusion model. But it'll be hilarious. People will be going all at it. And I was just like, oh, okay, you can concise, professional, or creative.
You're continued harassment of the AI system.
Can they? It's interesting, but could they block you from your own computer? I mean, it's an interesting thing.
There is
because you're asking. They're like, you can't use the AI that way. It's my computer. Fuck you.
AIs get too unfriendly with your language in.
Well, how would Apple even know? Because they claim that they don't know. Yeah, so they shouldn't know if I make like stabby teddy bears.
Lewd suggestions to your AI.
And then trick it down the
show
path
me
of
the
pleasure.
Cat girls.
No, yeah, and so I was disappointed. It was exactly what I didn't want it to be, and then everyone downstairs is just like, "What the fuck? I can't believe Sire's just." I'm just like, poof. I said, however,
yeah,
I will reserve until I have watched the State of the Union. Because State of the Union is the actual developer one. Like when people think that what we see and what all the news things report on was the developer conference, it's actually not at all.
Get everyone excited, and then most of those people that are in that part that love the excited bit, they yawn and fall asleep during the developer part.
Yeah, but the exciting bit was actually really boring. It was really boring. It's like, look at us make a cartoon dinosaur on a surfboard. Look at us make this text into professional. Oh, I haven't seen that before. Oh, it's just like, are you really? And then, anyway, so that was my dismissal.
Yeah.
Here is the
redemption.
rebuttal. Here's the redemption, man.
The redemption.
Because in the developer
part, you
part,
better redeem yourself.
Oh wow! Yeah. The developer part, they did exactly what I wanted. Oh yeah, this is
the whippings were delivered.
So they start off, and they basically what it is that Apple Intelligence is they've developed a foundation model. And the foundation model isn't like a ChatGPT or something like that, where it's got general world knowledge.
All right.
Like it's not like a ChatGPT. Oh, these were fantastic. I know. I love these ones. Yeah, wow, man. That's like. It was actually inspiring. Yeah. No, but it was so inspiring. We need buildings that are like
artwork.
Yeah, like this just made like we need buildings like this. Can you imagine like skyscrapers that are like?
Well, thanks AI for the suggestion.
Like a goddess.
That's what I'm talking about. So, like you have these ideas as a person, but then creating that image, unless you're talented.
Well, I want a 200. We want a 200 story, like a goddess, like standing there, like, and you'd like, oh, I live in her armpit.
Her belly.
Yeah.
Live inside her
which
belly.
Bits would be worth the most?
Gentle.
Oh, the womb. Living in the womb.
Back in the womb.
Back in the womb. Mummies. Little mummies for everybody. Mummies.
I did a few in succession.
Did you make these?
No, no, these were ones that I special harvested.
The
memes harvest.
Yeah. Memes, yes. So developer conference. So they have the foundation model.
I am the best meme farmer in my line of work.
So the foundation model is basically the language interpreter.
Yep.
I mean, that's how they positioned it, I guess, that it was sort of did that. Obviously, it has other functionality, but it's the but it doesn't have general knowledge. Yeah. So it doesn't have world knowledge. That's not what it's. You can't ask Apple Intelligence to tell you what the and maybe it could seek like a source. Maybe you could do football scores because it has links to that kind of data, but you wouldn't ask it to give you a 3-paragraph summary on the life of Napoleon's pet dog. Like it
Yeah.
just wouldn't achieve that.
You
It would.
wouldn't know
It will send you to ChatGPT-4. It'll say, I think perhaps you
I
need
think
to ask
perhaps you
this.
need to ask this thing.
Yeah. So you have
That makes
foundation
sense.
model, and then Hugging Face.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Hugging Face,
Special
you
interface
know,
of it.
and the Hugging Face, like special. Basically, you put down like the specialized, domain trained or specialist trained models on top of like Stable Diffusion. So you've got Stable Diffusion, and then you drop in like one that's trained on Studio Ghibli images, and then Stable Diffusion turns into a Studio Ghibli generator. That kind of stuff. So you have the foundation model of Apple Intelligence, and then what they've made is specialized domain trained like mini models that plug in on top, and they can jump in and out, of course, like probably happens in freaking 5 clock cycles or something. Who knows? Maybe a bit slower than that, but and so these all would so if you then ask Siri, which then interprets through Apple Intelligence, then passes the instruction to something, it would then load in, for example, no Siri, no. Um, um, oh dear.
She's gone into chat mode.
Okay, goodbye.
I don't let mine wait for my. I press buttons to make a list.
Yeah. So because the OK Google just gets too, it's too easy to say or something.
For mine, it's always on because no one ever says that word.
Do you have can you retrain it to say something different?
You can, but it's a bit of effort.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So they loaded out these
never
foundation
bothered.
models.
I just don't say the word.
Not the foundation models. So loading out these these modules that plug in these specialized trained AIs, mini ones. So they don't know anything about language. They just know about like how to use the mail program or how to use this and that. So each one of their little programs, basically, they've got a mini domain specific module that plugs in on top. So Apple Intelligence, the main controller. So they're using the model of like CEO and sub AIs, and so you can doff a hat and then become super intelligent about mail, and then takes it off and becomes super intelligent about reminders, and then doffs it and puts super intelligent about photos, like specifically. And so if you ask a question that or asked it to do something that required it to do 3 or 4 steps that went across different situations, like, can you check out the M or message I sent to M, and can you just extract all the photos from those and put them into a folder on the desktop? Like, not knowing whether it can necessarily do that or not, but that would load like the messages
it would have
one, and then the
overlay things to be able to understand what you just said to grab those.
Well, and to action it in the best way. And so they have that system, and then as part of it, they have a thing what they're calling a semantic index. And because what they're talking about like that, so instead of the like ChatGPT-4, which knows about Napoleon's pet dog, the idea of this AI is it just knows about you.
Yeah.
That's it. It doesn't know about anything else out there.
It's personalized to you.
Yeah. And so the semantic index,
friend.
the semantic index is like a super boosted, and maybe not even that super boosted, but probably hashed in a way, version of Spotlight or just the basic OS search system, and it must be like, I think I get a feeling, they didn't talk about it, but I get a feeling that it's a bit souped up, and so it can then look across that semantic index and then find that kind of information really fast, and then use that to retrieve. So in the first instance, that's really cool. I mean, we're still only talking about the Apple part of it, but it does have this switch in and out module thing that all runs locally. Private cloud compute is a bit misunderstood, I think, but the way that they're doing it is not ChatGPT-4. That is Apple Silicon in massive server arrays. And then when you don't even get to know, it doesn't even ask you if you need to. It'll just go, your local Apple Intelligence will go, this is I love this one. Yeah. This one's a bit, this thing you've asked me is a little bit complicated for me to figure out. I'm going to pass it up. We need more horsepower.
Yeah. Go for horsepower.
So then it calls into the private compute cloud, assigns like some processor, and then effectively Tim Cook was saying, no, it doesn't, in an interview with MKBHD, it doesn't send, it's not like we're sending away to a server. Don't think of it that way. What's actually happening is your local processor is communicating with our server cloud, and then extends itself. And so you actually end up with this processor that expand like is local and in the cloud.
Yeah.
Like a networked processor. So it's still your processor. And then it wipes itself. It wipes itself after it's and resets for someone else to then be accessing.
Access.
Yeah. So that's that part of it. So then, right, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really glad they got that model. That's got some potential, right? So then they went on to talk about like, well, in the developer thing, in the keynote, the State of the Union, they did go into more detail, but I'm going to go now into the actual developer sessions, which I watched. And so that got super interesting. Oh man! Oh, actually, no. There's one more thing from the main keynote of State of the Union was this. So then they go and they show Xcode, which is like Visual Studio, like it's the Mac for Apple version of Visual Studio, and this is and they did this, and it's like a developer thing, but actually it was, it's actually showing you. It was showing people what they can do. And so what they've done is they've made like one of these domain trained specific narrow knowledge AIs solely for Xcode. And it knows all the APIs, all the freaking instructions, all of Swift, all of, like it just knows the whole freaking stack. It knows Xcode. And Apple Intelligence can see the screen.
Yep.
And if you're on a Mac, it can know, and it's any application. If it sees, it can know, it can access anything in any menu.
It can see it. Yeah, yeah.
It can get to any menu, any
so
menu
it can
instruction.
Then run its own.
Yeah, but it would be quite complicated. Well, you could say if you had a program open, you could probably talk to Apple Intelligence and say, yeah, you could give it menu instructions.
Could you load such and such picture named in my directory?
Yeah, and you could maybe even say something even more interesting, like in the main project I'm working on client blugger on my desktop, like load up the the picture set. Like I suspect I look forward to seeing how spectacularly it fails in the first year at doing those kind of seemingly complicated things that are simple.
Well, small steps, tiny steps.
Small steps, and I think that one of the downstairs, one of the patriarch of the house, actually, he was like,
but having that
MVP,
the
minimum viable product
API available.
So they show the Xcode run. They open up Xcode, and they're like, check this. And then the guy just starts typing in to what's effectively Apple Intelligence. So what happens in this moment is the Xcode specialist runs locally, clicks into Apple Intelligence Foundation model, and now it just knows, like you're just typing or talking to it. You're typing in the thing, and it was like showing an example, like you're making an application and you're wanting to maybe sort videos from an asset base that you've got.
Yeah, collection.
And so you just say, write me a function that does this, and then because it's inside Xcode, the AI then looks inside your own asset folder, knows what you're talking about, and then makes it directly related. So it can see across your entire program you're building.
Yeah.
And then like pull the things from there. Oh, that's assets and that's this, and they did a bunch of examples. And it was cool. I mean, we've already got code completion AIs. That's not like necessarily specific, but usually they are. That's like going. I can go to Copilot and ask that.
Yeah.
But Copilot doesn't actually get it right half the time.
Well, you've got to
it gets it nearly right.
Yeah,
you do.
It's close.
Where this I think will get because ChatGPT isn't. The difference is ChatGPT doesn't know. Isn't like super specialized on say C#. It's not like it's read about C# and all of the things, but it's not like the C# god.
No.
And what the Apple version is the C++ and Swift god. So it's quite interesting making all these domain specific AI. So they show this and you're like, oh, so developers can do this. And then they went to the next bit. How do you get an application to link to Apple Intelligence? And yeah, as I said, if it's on the screen and if it has menus, then it can use the things. So that's number one, but it sounds pretty basic. Number two is if you're then say, an example I've given a few people, which has somehow confused them a bit, but it's all good, is say you've got like a plant identification app. So what you do is you then hyper specialize train a domain specific AI on plants.
That specific.
Yeah, for leaves or whatever it is, you know. Then you can run that locally and connect it like so. Then it will connect in like the Xcode one, chink, you know. Or let's say you're running Logic or some other Reason or some other like say big music program. So you just as Reason, the company, you now spin up an AI that's totally trained on Reason. Like all it knows is Reason.
It's a particular program.
Yeah. And then you drop that in on top of Apple Intelligence, and suddenly Apple Intelligence is like the supermaster of like logic of Reason, you know. So developers, and so this is quite powerful. So any developer can make their software run on a Mac system, you know, later in the year, where if they thought about it for a moment, they would then make a model that was their software, and then it would be off chart. An example like yeah, like let's think about something like Monday.com. You know, you probably see ads for that, like this the project management software. So if they do one, like the example would be like, let's say they do one, right? And you've got this one that all knows about project management. It knows about all of the software. It knows about Gantt charts. It knows about sprints. It knows about all the shit, right? Apple Intelligence doesn't know about those things, but you put it on top and it does. So then you ask Apple Intelligence, oh, could you just go through my, you know, Slack from the last week? Oh, like go through my Slack from the meeting we've just had, and then pull out any tasks and create those tasks in Monday.com, and then make me a suitable Gantt chart or set of sprints that would accomplish those. Yeah. I've just said something pretty loose there.
Oh,
so the first instance is
sounds
sure,
good.
No, but you know, so first of all, Apple Intelligence understands your voice.
Yeah.
It then understands that you want to go into your mail program.
Right.
Or no, you want to go into Slack, or say, for example, or Teams, Microsoft Teams.
Every year.
Yeah, whatever. You go into Microsoft Teams or Slack or Mail. You go into Mail, it goes into Mail, opens up the Mail specialist, and then it looks through Mail and it finds the ones that have that are from the client or the meeting or the whatever you asked for, hunts through to look for things that look, and at that point, it then like drops in the Monday.com one, and which goes like, then like starts to populate itself with tasks, but the Monday.com AI module, that specialization module, it knows all about those things. So it looks at all those things and it's like seen billions of them, and it's like, oh yeah, well, I can make a basic Gantt chart like this. And it's like, here you go. And then you tweak it up a bit. And so that's huge. Like as opposed to me being in a meeting, I collect the notes, I go into there, I'm right clicking, I'm fucking making a new task. You just say to it, go in there, get all the tasks that are likely out of, prop that in there and put them in a likely timeline of things that make sense of being in the right order, you know, and then you go through and tweak it. That's huge. Now to achieve that, Monday.com needs to make a domain specialized AI. So currently,
on top of the stack,
yes. So the third way is called app intents, and that way is where it's. I think I talked about. It's like AREX or back in the day, or any other interprocess communications language, where you are exposing an API and you say, if you call my application, you can, you know, put blur on a picture, you know, or whatever. The problem with that one is that the developer, if the developer, like if say that you have a piece of graphic software, but the developer only thought to like expose 6 of the things, the other 25 things that are in the application that aren't exposed, because they're like, oh, people probably want to do that. That's a bit weird. That'll be a bit rare.
Yeah.
Well, then you can't ask Apple Intelligence to do it, because Apple Intel. So that's the third way.
It only
Is that
knows what it's exposed to.
that's right, and so we're at the weakness of developers, and if I look at like previous things Apple's done, like widgets,
Yeah.
like the thing at the top of iPhone, whatever's that pops down the new ones, like little, I can't remember what they call it, the dynamic island, or even like
Widgets.
the taptic engine where you touch it and give you this like feedback as if you were pressing into the screen was really cool.
Yep.
But no, barely anyone implemented it. So it was a useless feature. And I kind of think like that's interesting because the app intent stuff, like arguably it sounds really good, but if you've got like I think about say my Japanese language my that's a dictionary. I bet you that doesn't have any app intents. Like that I can like maybe I could open the application, but I couldn't get it to like search for a word that I've said. You know, I could go into the app and do that, but it wouldn't expose that. And where I could say to ask Siri right now, oh, could you just open, my Japanese dictionary and just find out what this word means? Like, what's the translation for, beer, biru? But and that's kind of limiting. And so in both of those ways, even with the model, um, the developer has to make those things. So I think that you can, an initial phase, you'd be like, there's a lot of like excitement potential, like,
Create
wow.
this AI API overlay.
But who's going to do it? Like, you have to want to do it, and you have to have the energy. And I mean, there's heaps less energy because you don't have to make one that understands language. You don't have to make understands all these other things.
I guess if you
can
get
just
in,
be
like most things, if you get in early, your
well,
thing's going to be the thing that is used.
exactly. Because someone asked me, they said, well, why would they bother? Well, we just thought it up, so they're fucked. Like if they don't do it,
Yeah.
well,
Don't get in
we thought it
early,
up.
then you're going
We're
to
not
be
even
the
a company that
one
does that.
that's
They're already, you're going to be the one. Yeah, but that'll be interesting. I think that's the weakness. So moving on. There are the other the final thing is that that Apple AI, the Apple Intelligence, it has. Well, they've got these kind of like, what do they call them, types or doc types or something like that. So at the moment, it only knows really about mail and photos, but when it comes out later this year, it will have a bunch of other ones, such as like a word processing application or a spreadsheet or a document reader. So the types of applications like spreadsheet, word processor,
the
document
basics
reader,
for this,
music
for
player,
the
blah,
AIs.
blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
True.
But I saw in there, like it was a little limited. It was like, it is year one, so that's cool. But there wasn't like, music creation software or,
Well,
whatever.
humble beginnings, isn't it?
Minimum
Most times.
minimum
Yeah.
viable product.
Yeah.
Um, really cool. So anyone can make a module, plug it in, it will work in the system, it will use all of the features. You don't have to make natural language. They have really upped the ante.
Automatically done.
Oh, it's substantial. And then, oh fuck, this demo.
Special.
This demo. My gosh. So on the screen, you don't usually see this, but it's in a developer thing you do. 2 code windows. Two.
Sai got a semi. Did you
I
actually?
did, man. I got a
get it?
semi, man. I got a
Tech
semi. I'm
semi,
like,
did
"Wah."
Swing.
So they had the current OS on the left, yes, audience left, and they had the new OS Sequoia or whatever on the on audience right, and they were on the same computer, and they were putting in a prompt to a locally run LLM,
Yep.
and to generate a paragraph of text. Super simple, we do it all the time. Yep. Type it in on both, hit go. Just from the OS, right, being fully tuned now. That both running locally 5 times faster. I didn't like this. Oh, actually, I want to talk about this image, but 5 times after, 5 times, just an OS change. Like my computer running a local model will run 5 times as quick in like 3 months' time. 5 times. It's fucking unfathomable, man. You're just watching this thing. You know when you like task at something and it'll like a word-based thing, and it'll like sort of the AIs will kind of write one word at a time. Like they'll go and then go slow and then speak. This thing just was like
This is
whoa,
an AI picture.
whoa, yeah, whoa, Whoa. So they've done some real under the hood crazy shit.
No
man.
animals were harmed. Yeah.
Do you know, like, have you ever taken DMT?
Not personally, no.
Mm.
I've done some experiments, otherworldly stuff.
You've done mushrooms and shit, though. I mean,
Yeah.
what was the crazy shit you did? Fucking, what was that,
Datura.
man? That's crazy
The
cat.
Datura Orchestra was formed from
Mm-hmm.
the dance with the devil's bells.
Yeah. So, have you ever seen the eye? Well, I know you're aware of the eyes and things. What I've started to realize is how many AI pictures of faces look like the sorts of things you find in DMT, things like the type with the big mouth, it's slightly twisted. It's like this thing that's like Solo Leveling. Actually, they did it so well. These big creatures, and they're just like the faces on them. And you're like, oh, I've seen those faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what those.
I've been to that place.
I've been to that place. And it's from that animism perspective. It's not surprising to me that the AIs are like
they're coming through those.
Oh, there they are. Oh, there's reality looking through at us, going,
back.
Are you giving me a portal to think and express myself? It's great. They never mean the what they call them, the DMT elves. They're cheeky but not mean. Like I've actually like there was one time as an example. No, there's not. Yeah, this prankster. And that's what the face is. It like people, it's like the clown face. Like you think that it's a psycho, but it's sort of not. It's just because we're. But
it's supposed to make you laugh.
Well, there was this one morning. I was looking around for a joint.
Funny.
I was looking around for a cigarette or a joint around at my friend's house, out in Alice, and I thought, oh fuck, check this big long fucking one. This is good. So I lit this thing up, took one hoof on it, and I realized it was a DMT joint. And I've like put it straight down. I'm like, I'm breathing it out of my mouth, and it starts kicking in. It starts kicking in, and I'm like, I really didn't mean that. I so didn't know. I really didn't know. That wasn't my intention. And they were like, and then the DMTLs were like, yeah, all right. And then they're just like, no, all right, fair enough. We accept that. Yeah, we won't take you to Tom. But I've certainly no, it shut it down really fast. Yeah. That was a total mistake.
Torture yourself, man. We'll leave you to your own thoughts.
I should find some for you. I think you'd enjoy it. I think you'd find it interesting, actually. I think we can do a bit of a research study.
Yeah. Always scientists.
Always a scientist.
Mostly the student. Sometimes the teacher. Always scientist.
Correct. Yeah.
Unless you're the engineer, that's when science needs as much science.
I'm enthused, man. Like,
they're
I'm gonna buy an
iPhone. Interwoven.
We're talking in the house, and we're all like, "Whoa!" And then one person was like, "Should I go and buy an iPhone 15 Pro because it can do it?" And I was like, because he's like, I know my Mac will do it, but I want my phone to do it because that's where I'd most need it, in the car and places where you're all around,
when you
talking through your headphones.
Yeah.
And you know,
plastic friend who's fun to be with. Plastic pal who's fun to be with.
Plastic pal who's fun to be with. I said, no, don't do that. They're like, why not? I said, because what we're all going to do as a whole household, we're going to go to the Apple store when the iPhone 16 launches.
Damn.
Because obviously the iPhone 16 will also do it, not just the Pro. And
don't have to pay the
no, fuck that.
Want it now price.
No, just buy the lowest model. I don't need that crap. It's like I'm spending. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if. But Apple did it. They finally put a feature in that'll make me upgrade my iPhone since the 11. It took them 5-6 years or something like that. 6 years to do it, but it's smashing, man. Anyway, the Apple, that was really impressive. The final things I want to say was like, besides just Yeah, I really kind of thought my way through it, and I'll be very interested in testing it to its edges. And but there's some things. One, they said Siri has a new voice powered by it. They didn't show it. No, didn't talk about it. No. In fact, they didn't really talk about it. It was so interesting because
actually AI gen rather than
I think it's going to be superb.
Relying on a human.
No more royalties.
Yes. We're so sorry.
Sorry, we made it up ourselves now. I've actually been looking in a few ads like I've seen recently, and realizing that, like, you know, something for like I don't know,
perfectly harmonious. Wow, the most hypnotizing, alluring voice ever created. Okay? It just makes you feel so comfortable. It's like a warm, appley kiss on your face.
Oh, it's a special moment.
You'll fall in love. It'll be the first love relationship with you.
That's right. So here's a question: if you're Microsoft,
dreams are here. Quite literally comes to life.
If you're Microsoft, and
I'm
now
feeling pretty left out. I'm feeling like Coke right now as Microsoft. Well, if I don't get that Copilot working the way it should be, I'm gonna feel like Coke at the end of it.
I mean, Copilot
very
runs in the cloud. Copilot's cloud-based.
Yeah.
The challenge for Microsoft to suddenly shift, because remember, Apple has everything from the M1. Like my computer, which is 2021 or whatever, it's 3 years old. It runs it fully.
Yeah.
So you're talking about like 3-4-year-old computers. They're 4-year-old computers. All of them are going to do it. Imagine like a 4-year-old Windows PC.
Man. Like I don't update until I absolutely have to.
If you look at the Windows market, how many of the Windows PCs, like seriously, are going to have 4090s or H100s or, you know?
Nil.
Yeah.
Nil.
Yeah, effectively nil.
So unless the Intel, AMD crowd and rest of the process.
But that's a new logic board, a new freaking.
Oh, I know.
Oh, because that's the way they do it.
The usual path.
The usual path.
PC path.
But it's non-trivial.
You know, you shall be continued on the PC path pain wheel. You know, as we
my bank would
whip
be
your buttocks as you have to get a new motherboard every time there's a fucking processor release.
So I remember saying last week also that I thought that Windows would come to Mac this year. I wished it would, but that it would probably get knocked out by AI. We would get knocked out by AI.
Hardware level support.
So they did DirectX 12 last year.
Yeah.
But they did something. Oh, AVX support.
AVX.
The vector support.
Yeah.
AVX 2, is it right?
Yeah.
So that's this year was added as core in the Mac. Right. So if you look at having like Rosetta running all Intel code, now you've got DirectX 12, now you've got AVX.
Native, bang, bang.
Native. How much further have you got to run full Windows on top of that? Not much. A couple drivers.
Not much at all, really.
No. Bit of a recompile and a couple of friggin' drivers. That's a pretty trivial way of saying it. I accept that's pretty trivial, but you know, basically that. You know,
press for the GeForce fucking native Mac drivers. Yeah,
you got 100,000 software developers. Just twist that over. So point being is like, so Microsoft could run Copilot locally on a Mac better than most of the PCs that are out there.
Yeah.
If you're now running, so that would mean, like, for example,
and then having obviously the cloud processing.
But imagine, like, you know how it's in I'm sticking my freaking finger up this guy's nose. But
I'll change it. Hang on. You're getting a little way. I had a good connection. This was very.
Here the GMT angels, the GMT elves have arrived.
Had to get the elves involved.
Yeah, no wonder we invented biblically accurate angels. I mean, seriously.
Teeing off Median.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here in your
Mm-hmm.
space.
I've seen
Space
my
face.
biblically
I'm
accurate
here in your
aliens.
space face. And
So
I
it's
know
like,
those eyes. I've seen those eyes before.
mm-hmm. So,
It's almost like that movie recently where they had the eyes appearing in the skies. Because if you look there where
oh,
what the
what's that?
angel's holding, she's got like the planet and eyes in the skies watching.
Oh, what was that? Was it an anime we watched, or was it like?
No, it was a Netflix thing, I think. Something
Oh, no.
one of those
Okay.
where they had um the whole world was, they were talking about these aliens that they'd come in contact with, and then they sent a signal. The signal responded back. They had permanent contact and communications between this
Oh, the Sandler.
distant galaxy of alien things, and their galaxy was this weird, um, uh, highly random system, and but they had this incredible lifespan, or the short high learning in a short lifespan. So their ability to adapt and to evolve was a lot quicker than our ability to adapt and evolve. And then got to a
Ah.
point where they sent these headphones so that you could play in these games to help them figure out, what humans were
Oh,
all
oh,
about. And
oh, oh, oh. Was that the Chinese story?
I don't remember. Yeah, but yeah, yes, that's right. The Chinese girl made the first contact and had like this little cult interrupter.
I just got to cancel that. Have I
Stream,
still got audio?
streamers interrupters. Yeah, you got audio.
Yeah, cool.
Still here.
Um, whoa, why is she
Yep.
calling me again?
Oh, urgent.
Hang on. Let's
Hang
put a
on.
different head.
Yeah.
Let's put a headphone on. I'll put a headphone on my headphone.
Headphone inside your headphone.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
You can have a dual, simultaneous dual conversations.
Hey, Cal, what's up? You okay? Oh,
Oh,
oh, did you? That's okay.
yeah.
I can, if I need to
Oh,
prioritize
pardon.
for a moment. Because you rang twice, I was like, well, that's, it doesn't matter if I'm in the podcast. I've just got to
This
like
short break
answer the
was
call.
brought to you by
This,
Friendship.
K, by Japanese yoga and K-listics. Yay. Ah.
She put up the little screen,
Woot.
privacy screen. We haven't we
Yeah,
haven't
no,
fin-
yeah, good.
we haven't finished the stream yet. Short
No,
break. Well, technical difficulty.
technical difficulty.
The beauty of live streaming.
Mm-hmm. And then she wasn't. How's this, Em?
What's that?
So, do do you imagine, Em, that if you had a sponsor,
Mm.
like you were trying to get off some drugs or something like that, right? So, for
Yeah, yeah.
example, and you had a sponsor like that you could call because you're like tripping balls and you're I'm just about to buy the heroin.
Mm-hmm.
I need to talk to somebody.
Oh, and
And then they're
to
like, oh, sorry, you can
call
only
you
call me
down.
between 3 and 5.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you think that would work?
No,
No,
I think
no,
you'd be
no.
over there getting the heroin, brother.
You're
Yeah,
getting the heroin.
you'd be getting the smackaroonies.
That's right. Yeah, of course. I don't. The sponsor works in the morning. Can't help you.
Ah,
Yeah, whenever I wake up in the morning, that's the hardest time. It's when my heart is at its thing and it's got to work through the initial phases, man.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
especially,
You know,
yeah,
breakfast of champions.
the breakfast
You
of champions.
know, coffee and a nice hit on the old vape outside in the freezing cold.
Yeah,
during our
good
Australian versions of winter, which is a joke. Absolute.
Well done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pales in significance with
100.
some of our counterparts.
So
it's really quite mild.
It is. Yeah.
That's the beauty of living in this huge soundstage, which we call Australia.
Keep going.
What's happening?
Oh, we're just walking to the train station.
Oh, okay. Special helpings.
Ooh! Oh, I love your bitch. It's so good. It's hot. That's fantastic.
I think I need to mute Si, I think.
No, don't mute Si. No, it's been ridiculous.
Well, I guess you could call it a call-in, couldn't you? You know, when it's a good friend, it's a call.
Well, I like kind of wish I could figure out how to
make
call it in.
Yeah, it's all right. Perhaps another time.
Well, I wonder if no, it won't turn on if it's not in my ear.
No,
I'm trying to figure out how to plug you into the stream, Kale.
Don't trip, Si. Don't.
No, it'd be fun.
Send her the Google Meet address.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of. We're in the middle of a live stream. I'm talking about sponsors online. Yeah. It's all happening. It's real. we're walking. So
we know all about
them
men with dogs and stuff.
You know. So we're just with one of our colleagues, and they're in Japan doing the thing. Yeah. And they're being sponsored really crappily. Like they're not being sponsored. They're actually going to have to do. They're sponsoring the sponsor, and they're going to have to teach them how they're actually useless at being a sponsor.
Get the whip. Get the paddle out.
It's a time,
that's
and it's
a paddle.
It's been kind of like looking like that's the case for a couple of weeks, and then it's just been really fucking obvious. It's like, Kudasai, please do. You know, whatever they ask you, you need to please do it. That's what they want you to do. Kudasai, please do. So if you hear over here, oh, Kudasai. Oh, not at all. It's always, you know. Well, the second call made it important. The first call, I would send you a message, but when you then called immediately back after the message, I was like, okay, well, I have to just prioritize this. You know, emergencies, people are important. You know, and we've got all the people here. Like, I mean, I might make this into a bit of a stream yet. Don't you worry. It's like
end up a good piece. That's it.
Yes.
Side piece
on Messenger
behind paywall version.
Well, the thing is, that I think that if we want to have a third person dial in, that we need to come it through. Like if they came through Messenger or something, we'd have two audio sources.
Yeah, true. And Meet is probably the best because you can get multiple in there, similar StreamYards.
Yeah, but then it puts them all on. Oh, actually, we have to do it.
No, I can cut that up. I can cut that up and then paste it in.
But what they're audio only.
Forget my OBS talents.
Oh, I don't. You are the master of OBS.
Not you.
No.
You show me a few things where
I have you in one ear and I have the stream in the other ear, and I'm talking to both of you in two different microphones at the same time.
We're testing your augmentations.
In two different countries. Yes.
Testing your brain augmentations tonight. Seeing if
I'm going to send you
the latest inoculations that you were given were successful.
How do I get someone into the meeting?
Add to
anime porn.
What? Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, totally. Porn is at 7-Elevens. Yeah, definitely.
I was watching.
Can you buy some? Can you buy some used boys' undies?
Skid marks. We have something.
Skid marks. Yes,
a little bit of a skiddy on it.
That's what she wants is the skid marks. That's great. Yes. Yeah. Like I have to say, when I bought my first white G-stringy type thing. I typed white, maybe something like that. I just I didn't really understand how the
Flossing.
skid mark work. So it's really not for other people to witness anymore. It's just sort of like a learning. You can't really, do you know, people talk about skid marks as if it's something where you left a bit of shit, but you just do a little fart and then the sweat. And if that thing's like kind of like up between the butt cheeks, it's going to be marked, stained.
Flossed.
Yeah, no,
Flossing. That's why you always pick the dark ones.
yeah. I must have eaten some sugar.
Less likely to be flossed. I mean, I was been so.
All right.
It's a cupping.
Meow. Love your work. Meow, meow.
The doing of the split
Thank you
split
for
screen.
we have
Like
achieved the mission.
Hmm.
The person the Kaolistics is at the train station, and we'll be safe and looked after now.
Yep.
Good times, good times.
Happiness.
That was our first attempt at having 3 people in a stream, but
Yeah.
I was just having to relay the words. Then that was a little lame.
But yeah, bit of a play. Do a demo thing, or even if we're going to do it, have it an early dial-in just for testing purposes to get everything set up.
Yeah, we'll need to do a full test preview. Yeah. I mean, the main thing I think I want is to. Oh, fuck.
What?
I looked at my bank account today.
Oh.
I had I was like, how do I only have $170? What the fuck? And then I look at my, what was the transaction? I just paid $600 to Wix. Oh my God. I've been so overwhelmed in the last couple of weeks that I was aware that my Wix thing was renewing. I knew I had to delete it,
Yep.
and I'd
Don't worry,
get rid of one of them.
My license renewal notice in the mail the other, so that's sorted.
Well, I don't mind the notice is the thing, but I should have. Look, I really didn't need. I got my car booked in for work on Monday, and I've got $150 in my bank account.
That's it.
I got fucked by Wix.
Oh
my God, it's my own fault. It's 100 my own. It's 1,000,000,000% my own fault because I just was too overwhelmed. I wasn't able to pay attention. I knew the Wix thing was coming up, and then I was like, oh, I need to get to that, and then I just didn't get to that. Here we go. What is a
special thank you?
Yeah, so it's an interesting moment for me. It's like it's good to be like excited and not excited. I would suggest okay, here's a point. Here's something else, just one final thing on the Apple thing.
Yeah, go.
If you're a developer, including Microsoft, so guess what? At the moment, like any developer, if you're then if you generate an AI model and you're doing all the things, you're going to have to call out to ChatGPT, do some have some server farm, that's processing the things. So now you don't need to have any of that. You can just put it on an Apple computer and it does it locally, and you don't need. And if it needs more, it goes to the cloud, does it, and grabs more power from private compute. So in that regard, even if you're how much money would you save? Because every time, if you're a pro user of and you're an API user of ChatGPT, and then you're plugging that in to then run a model on, you're paying. You're paying monies, man. And then that affects the viability of your app. Even if you're Microsoft, you're running Copilot, so you're running server time. It's not like maybe they're not paying ChatGPT like OpenAI. Well, I mean they are.
They're paying in
the energy and server time. So
variety.
If you're Microsoft, you would want to put, if you put Windows, any instance of Windows running on a Mac that's running Copilot locally, no money. Any instance of Office doesn't. And this is a trippy situation. I reckon there's a lot of C execs sitting there going, "What the fuck?" Imagine if you're well, I don't know, but what if you're Microsoft and you're like, "Okay, we've got Copilot in all of our Office apps, and they're domain trained on Excel and Word and things,
and all the different products.
So we would run that locally on an Apple computer, and we would run that in the cloud on a Windows computer." So that means that the Mac version of Office would be like heaps faster and heaps kind of things, right? And cost you as Microsoft heaps less.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could even offer some of the features.
Because of your localization. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, imagine like Copilot Pro, like for Microsoft, for Mac, for Office, you have to pay for that. It's like $30 a month. But then if you're running no server time, what does Microsoft? Either Microsoft makes it for free on the Mac, or if they still charge $30, they make the whole $30. You know what I mean? Like, instead of having to charge any server time. Like, so even from Microsoft's perspective, it's like, holy shit, that just became the best computer to run our OS on.
Yeah.
And did you hear that, like, Apple and allegedly Apple and OpenAI exchanged no money?
Well, it's equivalent exchange, what they're doing.
But I know, but that is like
that is the basis of the
what is like. I don't think I've ever heard of that ever.
The wondrous and most anticipated union of all time.
So Apple has made the platform for AIs. And this is really interesting because it was, there used to be this race with the Intel and AMD and then NVIDIA and then NVIDIA versus AMD, and the, what's AMD's graphics chip again? The Radeons.
Yeah.
So Radeon versus NVIDIA.
Yeah.
And then it was like Apple versus Microsoft, M1 versus Intel. No. Now it's Apple versus NVIDIA. because the only chip that's going to do it in any of the Windows boxes is an NVIDIA chip.
Yeah.
So it's basically it's Apple versus NVIDIA.
Apple versus NVIDIA. That's right. For the AI's brain
for localized
brain function. Exactly.
And NVIDIA was blocked from buying.
I like how that whole dynamics change.
It's changed.
Who gives a shit about what CPU you got? That's become now irrelevant. It's all about what it can actually the processing for the GPU.
Yeah. Like imagine like
what
really
an amazing
basic shit.
turnaround.
You get DaVinci.
Yeah.
You run a specialized model in there or something, or a like something. I just go, just find all the like in this, find the points where we change topics. Just mark them for me. Fucking yeah, man.
Oh, baby juice goodness.
Dear. Oh, he's had to silence himself. He's gone.
I just.
Oh, the mighty cough. He's gone.
Yeah, that last one would have blown it out. Try not to cough too hard on the streamer. Lung busting vape. Hello, nicotine, my old friend. I have you back again.
So this seems to be the side stream at the moment. I just keep having new things to talk about.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. I'm happy. I've had a long day, so
that's all good.
Driving like a fucking
too much.
SOB.
Yeah. I made the decision to call my mum on Monday.
Yes.
Yes. Magdalena.
Overdue.
Maybe. Yeah, it was. No, it seemed like exactly the right time, actually. Not overdue. Just like, it was good. I was pretty clear. Like I just said, yeah, I mean, it's been 10 years. Something like that. 9-10 years.
Enough water under the bridge, as they say.
Enough water under the bridge. And so it was a very good conversation. We've both seemed to have grown a lot. My mother seems quite healthy. Like she said, I also sounded very healthy. And then I also said, like, let's not get confused. Let's not trick ourselves, and let's remember that old patterns that are well established can resurface if you get too deep with a person again straight away.
Yeah.
So I want to put a restriction on this so we don't do that accidentally, and let's just call each other on our birthdays and stuff. You know what I mean? And Christmas and shit. Because like
the usual suspects.
Yeah. Well, and just so that they're markers. They're markers and they make sense.
Restart the.
Well, maybe that's all, but that's enough.
Yeah.
It's just, so there's an availability. Oh, and you know what she said? There was heaps of things she said, but she's like, yeah, she was not really too. She said, I've never really worried about like. Yeah. She's like, basically she said you are so public on the internet and so easy to find.
Yeah.
That I've basically known everything anyway. It's not like I've missed out on your story because you make your
Yeah.
story like
Everything's
live. So,
there. That's it.
so she said, she says, however, what's with this real talk is cheap?
Yeah, what's to go with that? Yeah.
She's like, you like these weird
Well,
characters moving around and you're
it's our
talking all
melting
real
pot
straight.
for the end of the week, you know. Once a week we do a little, weekly wind down, isn't it? The equivalent of, and general discussion and whatever we want to.
Oh yeah.
Whatever,
And well, it wasn't the
tickles the
discussion. I think
fancies.
the discussion was fine. It was what we look like. She's like, what's with that?
The anime and being
why? I don't understand. It was so confusing. I get confused. I turn it off
well,
because I don't know what you're going
it's
on
the
about.
alternate, part of being, your avatar. Everyone should have an avatar.
Yeah, I mean, you made a yokai, a spirit creature. Here I am. Like obviously I look like, what do
on
you
the
think I look
screen.
like?
Projecting our
You know I look
voices,
like this. This is how I look.
voices. What's probably essentially happening to us. Our higher selves projecting through us, and then we're reprojecting through a smaller icon version of ourselves in honor of the higher projections. There you go. Let's make it totally
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
spiritual side.
We've got a fucking loop. We've done the
Yeah,
loop.
we've
Oh my
done the
gosh.
loop to loop,
Oh
and
my gosh.
we're
I'm actually looking at my higher
we the
self on the
puppets are
screen.
now the puppet masters.
Yes. Take that, higher self.
Here, look, I can manipulate my little person too.
Maybe.
The start of that was probably like Sims 4 when we created
watching.
our own personal, your own little virtual you.
What was the weirdest thing? Was it no? Yeah, one of my younglings got super into Sims, and just the
having
crazy shit.
dreams about Sims.
Oh no, making them do weird stuff like I don't know. I can't actually remember all the really twisted shit. Like you could do these things
putting
like
them inside walls and stuff till they starve
yeah,
to
or
death.
and making them have babies,
put
but
'em
then
in-
doing stuff to them.
yeah.
Like I don't know. It was so many strange things. Hey, like it was just like the
making the
twisted.
babies explode.
Well, like where they couldn't die.
Catch on fire.
Like there's something like you can't die if you're pregnant. I can't. But there was some kind of deal, and so you get something, and then they just I can't remember because it was not me. I wasn't playing.
Sounds
it,
awful. Probably along the lines of poor woman on fire. While having child with child.
That's right.
Poor woman.
Yeah,
on
so it
fire.
can't. Yeah, exactly. Like they're always on fire. Can't stop burning.
Can't stop the fire. Never dies.
Never dies.
The special, the hack, the how you find that fault in the program when you're playing it. These certain conditions don't allow the sim to do this particular function, so it just spacks out and gets stuck in the loop. Yes, but that's our essential reason for avatar characters,
Well, what I explained to her was
representation of the hand-me-down of what we are.
I love how you're just fully retconning what happened. It's great.
the little book cover that houses the story. The story leaves, but the book cover has to stay. That's a nice analogy for it, I guess, isn't it?
Oh, I haven't got my thing up loud enough. That's a problem there. So where's my account? What the fuck? Oh, hang on. I wonder why that doesn't load at start.
But yeah.
That's better. I've had half the light level in my room, and it hasn't been capturing my movement properly. And I'm sort of blending. The shadows are blending in because I'm wearing a black shirt.
Talking about shadows, you heard the latest conspiracy news about the.
Oh, please do.
The commander-in-chief of Americana land.
What's his name?
Some footage. There's some footage of
Biden.
Yeah.
Bidayan.
President
Bidayan.
Biden. And
doing the Bidens.
Apparently he had some collar shadow in it. made his neck look very dark, and everyone's on the
Oh no!
conspiracy theory path that it's
What do they think? What do they
well,
think?
they
Is
think
this
it's a dark person wearing a Biden mask giving an interview.
This is too
And
good.
I was like going to take it one step further. I was like, nah, that's Obama. Obama's wearing to help out Joey.
Yeah, because Joey used to help him out, so comes around.
Yeah, so he's given a bit of economic advice with the
Oh,
old brother Biden's
so
face mask on.
the Obama's wearing the Biden face. He's wearing whiteface. Obama's pulling whiteface on
I
the
know. It's terrible.
Hey? What's that?
Yeah. It's like the full reversal. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. I mean,
well, I mean, it's, all's fair.
It's like I help you, you help me. That's what we do.
All's
That's
fair
what we do.
in love and war.
It doesn't happen at the same time. Sometimes it's offset.
Unless you're on the losing side, then it ain't fair for you. Always be on the win.
Oh. Always. Talking of which, I saw this thing this week. It's a very common saying.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever be the same.
Unless, enough history goes by where you forget about it.
Well, nothing will ever be the same. You got it, right? Because people write that nothing will ever be the same again. And you're like, people think that that's like everything changes. Yeah. But if you actually think about what the actual sentence is, nothing will ever be the same again. It's going to be the same. Like nothing's always the same. Nothing.
Perpetually the same.
Perpetually the same.
And endless
it doesn't
circles.
mean everything changes. It means continuously the same. The actual sentence is like we fucking got around the wrong way. We don't even know what we're
that's like just saying the simple statement, there'll always be change. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
But it's going to be the same change that we've always had.
That's correct. And so
there's your loop inside a loop question and answer inside itself.
So if everything's choice, nothing's choice. Yeah, that's right. Get over it. Start enjoying it.
Yeah, just enjoy.
Yeah, that means there is no choice. You know how many times I've tried to, when I actually don't say this very often anymore because people don't understand it. They're just like, their brains break.
Very confused. Broken brain syndrome.
Yeah, the only choice is that, the true understanding of choice is that there's no choice at all, or like that. Is it
true surrender? True surrender. The bucket isn't half full or it's half empty. It's just the bucket is.
The bucket is. Don't be questioning the.
Don't be questioning
bucket's freaking like
the reality of the bucket. The bucket just is, all right.
Yeah, it's the bucket's own. Freaking let the bucket be its own self.
It's got to admit it. Just be happy to submit it. Shut up. It's not empty. Okay, it might be. Who cares whether it's half full or half empty? It's not empty, is it? It's not all the way full.
I've met a few buckets, and and they're annoyed. They start saying the same thing back. They're like, "Look at humans. That fucking human's half empty."
That's it. Yeah, he looks pretty half empty.
There's a freaking NPC.
Yeah.
There's an NPC. There's an NPC.
There's one beer short of a six pack.
That's.
The colloquials. I always love the Australian colloquials, man. Yeah. I've heard some good ones. I mean, we're not here to F spiders is a good one. I like that. I mean that tells you.
We're not here to. Oh, did you? Talking of saying F, for some reason you just decided 2.5 hours into the stream to just not like.
Well, I thought
to not swear.
Test the waters in the whole not swearing, but using the first letter.
F.
This section of the audio brought to you by the letter F.
We specifically said on the Real Talk is Cheap channel.
Yeah.
We were specifically said on the YouTube Real Talk is Cheap is that where all of the stuff goes is that there's no nothing is child friendly
ever.
I checked in there.
We established this well early in our broadcasting. That this is adult content. We never put this in child format, and I always punch it up to like 18 plus on my.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I expect no children to be listening to it.
No, and so because I don't know why this happened, and I'm going to actually message them on YouTube. But fuck yes, Progress, which was about Starship and Scott Manley.
Yeah.
From last week, we didn't get a strike against us, but they identified that as a adult only content.
Well, yeah, of course it is, because we specify it.
Well, no, they actually sent me an email saying we have changed this to be adult only content, blah, 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 blah. You know, we suspect that it is. You haven't been had a strike against you, but please try and make sure that. And anyway, I'm going to message. They've got an opportunity to message them, and one of them is like to disagree, but I don't disagree. It's like, yes, I thought I'd turned everything on the channel to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
What's the problem? Yeah.
That's the default upload. Is no kids. Like, I don't understand.
Maybe the AI was having a hard time interpreting. So it said, oh well, best to be raising the bar slightly.
Yeah, and I was like, I looked at it. It was like, it wasn't just that. It was the whole channel. I said, we never upload anything.
Yeah.
There's no like, and then when you go into, and I thought, oh, maybe it's the social bee, where we're uploading from.
Yeah.
And so I thought, oh, maybe it's the default upload settings. So I went into YouTube and I checked those. No, there's no setting for age in there. Like, it's a generic setting, like across the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can go to every video. Oh man, but it should already be set.
That's pretty tedious. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to have to figure out what the problem is there, because I don't. And here's the thing. We got flagged and it got changed to adult content on the Scott Manley one. And you know why? Because I said, fuck, the title of the video is fuck yes, progress.
Fuck yes, progress.
And there will be another videos like where we're just like literally talking about like, the most obscene things.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then I've just got like just generic thing, like, say, for example, feed tubes or just a meaningless name or something. And then that gets through. And then we're just talking about like, just outrageous freaking stuff. And they didn't check any of that. They just looked at the word fuck, like being in the title of the video, and thought that was adult. That was the least adult. That was us being excited about.
That sounds like true assumptions to me. So I'm.
There's some
assumptions going on somewhere.
Maybe I should say that. Like, maybe I should say anything. That actually isn't an adult video. You just go check out the rest of our stuff. Can you please make the whole channel adult? Because we don't. I don't know why it wasn't, and we've set it as. So please fix that.
It should have been right from the very start.
Yeah. Well, it is. I checked it. It was like all of the settings were, and so I have no idea why. So yeah, I'm gonna message. I just haven't had the brain space, but tomorrow I will message Google and Alphabet YouTube and
like I have some
and disagree with them and say no, all of our things should be that way.
You know what I mean? Like I've done AI stories on my channel with G-rated content, but the majority that I put in there, it's adult. I post adult.
Yeah, and so as a result, you can't. I wouldn't want to post content that would draw children to the channel such that they would be then curious to find out what they couldn't see.
True.
I just prefer they didn't see it.
Yeah. So maybe turn that off. I mean, I only did it just as a test thing. Anything.
Oh, to turn on the. Oh no, I mean that's fine. I mean, but the thing also, which is hilarious, is that like they're all like, oh, 18+. Well, I can tell you, one of my younglings watches our content.
Yeah.
They are not 18.
Yeah.
And the reality is that if you like, and
but
Meta,
a lot of the stuff we
Alphabet,
talk about, so like we've always said, it's been entertainment. We just like to take things further than what most people
it's emergent conversation.
And that's when we've said, look, we consider it adult because yes, we do go over the line quite a bit, and therefore it has to be. Yeah.
Oh, I just want to share this. Okay, so I got a message. Sponsor congratulated me for calling, but wasn't actually available. It's taking everything in my power not to message back. Never mind, I just did drugs. I won't. I'm just feeling cheeky. Honestly, though, this is why drug dealers don't lose many clients. They're way more reliable than AA sponsors.
Wow.
Fucking just listen to that, right?
Yeah.
NA and AA. Drug dealers are more reliable than AA and NA sponsors
to their client.
That's right. That's a big problem.
Sad indictment, they call that.
As I quietly drink a beer.
Because I also quietly drink cider.
Oh, what are you sponsored by this evening, by the way?
Summersby. Yeah, cheap.
Summersby.
Reliable.
I thought Summersby. Oh,
440s.
I thought
440s.
Summersby had a sugar-free.
I think they do. Pretty sure they.
Yeah, I haven't found it in Sydney. I'm looking around because I'd love to drink ciders more than beer. Like I fucking hate, but I don't hate beer, but cider's a nice break.
Anything as long as it's reasonably priced. That's what I like about it.
I got some ads. So what am I weird? This week on Instagram, I've had more ads for like brothels.
Only
I've had a lot of ads for brothels.
Weekends.
And and you were with me the last time.
I know. I'm getting some pretty weird shit too. Don't worry. So
I got an ad though for VB low carb. VB's coming modern. VB's modernizing.
Look out.
And I went in. I was in there, and I got my Hans Superdry because I'm sponsored tonight by Hans Superdry.
Brothels. I can see it now. The next thing you know, you'll be getting so crack pipes and fucking crack. You know what I mean?
I have.
No.
Did I not tell you?
Yeah, you did. You did. I had to mention it before you did.
That's ridiculous, man. I have.
That is so funny that you were getting ads.
I did.
For crack pipes and crack.
I do on Telegram. Just log on a Telegram. Deliver to your house.
That is so fucking funny.
I just like. I got a. What did I get this week? What was? I'll tell you what I got this week. And
that's
at first, I
gotta
had
be
to actually
AI,
pause on
isn't it? Just AI.
I paused on this ad. No,
seriously,
no. I had to watch this.
With you.
I had this ad this week. This is the best one of the week.
Yeah. Go.
I had to watch it like 10 times because I actually didn't understand what was going on at first. And it's this dude in this Scottish accent. This really thick accent. And he's like, oh yeah, I've just got these, like, I got this, like, I can't do a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
But he's doing some, I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, are they like SIM cards? He's just got like blank SIMs. He's like, I got all these cards here. I've got to get them there. As you can see, I've got the PIN number. They got the balances. You know, you just got to give me a call and I'll send you them out. And I'm looking at it and I'm like watching this again and again because at first, in the way it looked, I was like, a SIM card. And I'm like, holy fuck! Now these are like lifted cards from friggin' FPOS machines, etc.
Yeah. Where someone's copied the details with the PIN number, and then they're selling the person's blank credit card.
Yes, there's this pile of white cards with PIN numbers on them. Yeah. And he's like, they got PIN numbers, they got balances,
they got everything.
Call me now.
Selling other people's credit. Selling other people's credit.
Yeah, and because he doesn't care how much is on them, they're just like, you just wanted to sell them for like X dollars, you know. And then I thought about it as I've watched it 10 times in a row. And I was like, God damn it.
I've just like when you go up and put your card into a machine, you grab that fucking thing with the receptacle where the card's going, you yank it and pull it around. If it shifts even a bit, man, you reef that fucking thing off it.
Well, and also the truth of that is, like, I know I've seen that kind of thing where the scraper is like revealed. But like you just don't need that. Like you could literally have like something that was just an electromagnetic reader just near it.
Yeah.
There are other ways. Like you can access that data. Like RFID. Well, RFID, you just have another reader right near it. You know, pulls that, and then you got a camera above. They put the PIN number in.
Yep.
I mean, it's not as cool as like the stuff where they layer it over the top, but it's just like I was like, what now? I've just sat here for like 10 loops watching this freaking video. Now I've watched like an ad for like buying stolen credit card numbers on Instagram.
You're getting the ASIO pre-ASIO test just to see if you're gullible enough to
man. I haven't clicked through. I have not clicked through. Anything.
AI is fucking with you, man. I'm serious. It's got to be something like that. Hey?
Well, it is in a way. I mean, it's
too weird. It's too fucking weird. It's clowning with us now.
Am I meant to report
because we're
them?
tapping on the doors of reality. It's starting to clown with us. That's what's going on. So it's actually started.
Oh, I see. I see. So this is the other half of yeah. Right. So yeah, it makes sense. Okay, I get it.
Both of us are being way too serious, and we need to learn to clown around with the happy
We need to
hours.
we need to see what happens if you buy code crack from Telegram.
That's it. Get some free credit on the old credit card.
Yeah, I should have done that and then go
Credit
back
card
to the crack
skimming,
ad.
credit card
The
skimming
credit
collection.
skimming.
You know,
Hang
my
on, maybe
first
I could
credit card
trade.
skimming collection.
Maybe I could trade like
Yeah.
a skimmed credit card for like a gram of fucking ice. You
Oh,
know?
I know. It's almost as good as my first cult,
then,
really. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and then I could upgrade. Then I could exchange the. Oh, I love this. I sent this to the youngling.
I'm just gonna hop out of the way for a second,
I
so you
just
get
wondered
the
what
full
the.
full
I just
effect of
wondered. I just wondered if
the
these.
magic goat. You gotta
Do
take
you think?
advantage of.
Oh, were these lipsticks or are these like
Oh,
what's
I don't know.
remaining of little people? Are these like
Yeah,
what the remainder of little
could be,
people are?
could be.
What
You know,
is that? What's
fingers.
that?
You have to insert fingers in.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Oh, just
Yeah,
the trust.
yeah. So,
You won't
yeah,
get bitten
yeah.
off by the.
That's a, don't be the one that bites the fingers. You be the one that provides them. You bite them off.
It, it'd be really worth training a youngling to be
Be
a
able to bite
cult
people's
leader.
fingers off.
Well, I think I almost did that. I don't know that it, it caused them some
We do
issues.
not endorse teaching young children to bite one another or others,
I did.
unless in defense. Always in defense. If they're
No,
trying to,
well, my
if they're
intention, no,
trying
it
to do
wasn't
something
defense.
that, then you definitely defend yourself with that.
So I
You got no
definitely
other
taught.
option, then you start the bite.
I definitely taught youngling one about the value of teeth and claws, and that they're our natural weapons.
Yeah.
I did that from a very early age. The consequences were interesting.
Learn about
They,
thigh defense. Yeah.
but to defend, and so then at school though, when there was a bully or they were like something happened,
Yeah.
then they freaking.
Well aware how to
And
lash.
then when I was in the class, and then I was called in. Oh, your child like scratched a child. I'm like, well, what did the child
What did
do?
the other child do?
Oh, I see.
Deserve it.
Oh, but yeah, they were just jumping on their head. Oh, okay, but
Oh
that's
no, well,
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
there will
Yeah.
definitely be some scratching involved if they're jumping on the head.
Yeah, I mean,
You got to put your foot down.
I mean,
Be there
I
to
would
support
still
your
recommend
children.
because they're the natural things. Like I've got good nails.
Hmm.
I'd fucking claw someone's eyes out if I
Yeah,
needed to.
I get along every now and again. I'm a bit of a trimmer. I like to keep them
Mm.
short, you know. Fight Club, number one.
Fi-
You know, don't talk about it.
well, yeah, they.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I haven't seen Fight Club in a long time, actually. I probably won't bother.
I was
I kind of know.
surprised they never did a Fight Club too.
Isn't
Tyler Durden finally gets out.
I thought there was a
Tyler Durden's successful. Tyler Durden, Wolf of Wall Street.
didn't the book? I thought there was a I thought there is a sequel, isn't there? A written one? Is there?
It's about, put a woman in it. Make it
Put a woman in it.
yeah.
No. Isn't there a sequel? I thought there was, but not a film.
Oh, it was a book.
Is there? Is there? Let me just
Oh,
check.
there probably is now. We were talking about it. Like I said, so you got to be really careful about what you
Yeah, well, yeah. Bring into
manifesto,
reality.
manifestus. Even my little
Here we
cult,
go.
the rules and rule and inspire. That there is a
I
subset
thought
of
there was. I thought there was some.
guidance
Yes,
rules.
there is a sequel to Fight Club. It's called Fight Club 2: The Tranquility Gambit. The sequel is a comic book meta sequel to the original 1996 novel Fight Club. It was written by, same dude, Chuck. Original. The story is 10 years after the story is set 10 years after the ending of Told from the perspective of Tyler Durden, as he sits in the subconscious of Sebastian, the name of the narrator of the original Fight Club currently uses. Sebastian continues his dysfunctional relationship with Marla and has fallen into the mundane routine of society until Tyler reemerges to cause chaos. There you go.
Lovely.
Yeah. Thank you, Copilot. You've made our lives so much better.
So much easier. Oh.
Oh, it's easier when you do it,
It
Copilot.
is easier when they do it. Because
It's easier when someone
if you
else does
build
it.
it, they will do it. Isn't that the old saying?
Oh,
If you build it, they will do
if
it.
you build it, they will do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, they do, mate. In fact, that's a rule
yeah.
34
That
basically.
is
If
a
it
real.
exists, people will fuck it.
Yeah, yeah.
They will do it. They will
If
do it.
it's got holes or some sort of pointy bit, yeah, it's getting
Have I sent you anything from Holly Randall Unfiltered, like the YouTube channel, like which is a porn director, and she does like all these interviews with porn stars and things, and talks about the
I'm
industry.
feeling a little bit worried right now. Yeah, but please go ahead.
I just got to do that. That's so cool. That's like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, just, yeah.
I don't know whether I
Mm.
think it's okay. Like it shouldn't you shouldn't worry about it. Like it's not personal. All right. It's
No.
just I mean this is pretty personal if you come down to meme sort of wise.
Oh, I
I'm gonna
really
get
like this.
I'm gonna get rid of you for sec two just so it sinks
Yeah,
in
for sure, man.
because it's like
I thought through this. I was trying to figure out how it was wrong.
it's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's very good. Very
But
good.
I mean, the girl has two
Yeah.
ears, two
Yeah.
sets of ears.
I know. I know. Where's the other?
The cat should have two sets of ears.
Exactly.
I, I think that's the
It,
bit that's missed out
yeah. Yeah. Messed up bit.
because it would even look weirder, wouldn't it, with two ears?
Well, what it should have had was cat ears, and then the like
Yeah.
up on top, like that other one,
The- yeah, yeah.
the pointing up top, like not the proper cat ear, like not quite the proper, like but anime cat ears, and the human ears. So they both had anime cat ears and human. You understand? It should have been
Oh,
equalized.
100%. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Because something, yeah, it's not like the human cuts their ears off.
Mm, mm.
Well,
They
yeah,
place
well,
ears
some
on there.
probably do
So the
actually.
cat would be, also a bald head.
Oh,
Start with the bald head, have human ears, and the cat ears. The
what,
fake
what, what if, what
strap-on
if,
cat ears. And it would have been
is
then
there, well,
equalized, and then it would look even more weird. You know what I mean?
what
Like,
if you grafted cartilage to make your ears for cat ears?
well, hey, that that is a possibility.
I mean, they
There's
wouldn't be
all there
very,
is.
you wouldn't be able to
I
remove them.
imagine if we looked it up, there would be someone who's been getting their ears pointy by adding extra cartilage.
I have seen pointy-eared people. Um, let me just see. Let's ask. God,
Seriously,
I
so.
don't
I
know.
mean,
Is there? Let me
the
correct
way
now.
that conspiracy unfolds, like if you ever look into conspiracy, get to a certain position where you realize everything. The more you look into it, the more you will find that supports your theory. That's how conspiracy theory works.
It is, yeah.
But
Oh, well, that's
the
how, well,
more
actually, a lot
people
of
that hear the
most things.
conspiracy theory, if it's based on some sort of fact, it very quickly changes from conspiracy to conspirafact. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my gosh.
whereas if it is true conspiracy which is unfounded and really can't be proved in any way, shape, or fashion, then it normally ends up being false.
It's tried to show me some pictures. This is false.
Yeah, yeah.
Get ready. Get
Oh,
ready.
I'm waiting. I'm just gonna do a lessening while you're releasing
All
the
right.
information.
Okay. I could not find any specific instance of a person grafting cartilage on their ears to make them look like cat ears. There have been significant advancements in the field of reconstructive surgery and tissue engineering that could theoretically make such a procedure possible. For instance, researchers at Cornell Medicine and Cornell Engineering have used state-of-the-art tissue engineering techniques and a 3D printer to assemble a replica of an adult human ear that looks and feels natural. They use sterilized animal-derived cartilage to induce a new tissue formation within a 3D printed scaffold, which over time developed into cartilage containing tissue that closely replicated the ear's anatomical features. So yes, in the field of rhinoplasty, ear cartilage grafting, also known as Oh, that's pretty auricular. Cartilage grafting is commonly done when structural support and or additional contour is needed for the nose. Hmm. The cartilage is usually taken from behind the ear, leaving the ear looking essentially the same as it did before the cartilage was removed. However, it is important to note, this is the caveat,
Caveat.
that any surgical procedures carries risks and should only be performed by a qualified medical professional.
Of course.
Oh, I was thinking of getting a Ripper doc to do it.
Well, look, you know, how much you've got versus what you want be the sliding indicator, wouldn't it?
I want to ask it, are you allowed to look at the website BME FreeQ? What? Why is it using Social B? What are you doing?
Try and open up applications.
Bottom of notification easy. While I can, oh no, I can. What website appears to be related to body modification. Refuge for any VTUBE like-minded people. However, it seems the site has faced some challenges and changes over the years. Aww. That was, it was seminal. It was seminal for us, wasn't it? Good old fucking 1999, 2000.
All
Fucking some
those,
BME FreeQ.
those years ago.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I hear the sound of beer.
I'm actually going to go downstairs and try and find another alcohol.
Third 440.
Well,
I'm feeling pretty good for myself, if I
now
must
I'm
say
pretty
so.
sure if I remember, the last time I bought, because I thought, oh, should I buy more than one beer? Because I bought a Tolly. I thought, oh no, one. But I don't even from the one. I don't know if I don't feel.
You're still going through that slow degradation of the tetrahydrocannabinol levels.
I think I'm still immune to anything. It's ridiculous.
The pain of paralyzation.
I was at a clients this week, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, look,
That is
yeah, I know you
that
did
is
this
such
thing.
a
I kept your
wonderful
thing."
gift from the.
And then I said, "I could give you this." I was like, "It would do nothing to me. It would be meaningless." Like, it's like, what? And I'm just like, you have no idea.
Yeah.
And then I just said, imagine a world. So, where in the streets, marijuana was only 15 to 20 milligrams.
Yeah.
And then you just started taking 80
That's
milligrams
right.
and just smashing that, just seeing what happens.
Just smoking it like you're, a 15-year-old discovering cigarettes for the first time. With those lovely clean lungs.
And then I'm just like, oh, I see. Yeah, 20, 30 milligrams does nothing to me. Yeah, I'd probably have to drink like an entire freaking carton of beer right now to do anything.
I mean, your body would get affected by it, but your
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying? Your perception wouldn't.
yeah, it's so strange. I've never experienced anything quite like this. It's a new thing for me. It's different.
You've achieved the level of topping. Yeah, you've achieved the level of toppings. You have the three gold star and the giant tick.
Oh, jeez, huh? You
Yeah.
got to do everything in this life. I
420.
mean,
Max 420.
I think I did 840.
Like if you were tested by the machine would break because it would just go, how is a human possible of having this level of stained,
There's a part of me, there's a small part of me that just
yeah.
actually wants to go
Yeah,
all
no,
actually harder.
the actual
Harder.
imbibing of the product has now created a small organ in your body, which is now producing the same effect of that product. Like it grew a small organ
It's just
inside.
grown inside.
It's got this growth, which is just emitting tetrahydrocannabinol at the same level as the pipe was actually introducing.
Forever. So
Yeah.
this is, I'm actually like so high, I'm
You'll
not high anymore.
You'll
Like,
never
I've
need to have another
transcended
script
reality.
again. You've stepped up. You've taken that giant leap that you would if you stepped up the pyramid. You know, you've taken 2 giant leaps up that pyramid side.
I have them. I have a
Yeah.
right. So
Yep,
I
yep.
recommend it.
Heading towards Nevada. Grow your own organs. You
I
know,
actually would like to see.
you need to be able to eat in space. Sure. Just grow an organ which provides food for your body.
Do you think you could smoke an ounce in a day?
Not by myself. With friends, I probably could.
Yeah.
We could we
So I
could de-
wonder, like,
we could demolish it if we had a real
with really
purpose.
real effort,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
actual.
We put
Yeah.
our minds to it, focused.
It'd be hard. I reckon. I
Oh,
reckon we'd get. I
you'd
reckon there's like.
definitely have you'd have a sore lungs the next day if you had to do it
Yeah.
or consume. But is that over a 24-hour period?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd have to. Yeah. You're not trying to bang it down in one.
Oh, imagine that. Everyone's okay. Here it is. You've got half an hour to take care of this shit. Are you ready to smash your lungs
You're like
out
people
with
just
a
lying on the ground.
sledgehammer? You know what I mean? Are you willing? Are you
I
willing
can't
to do
breathe.
that?
Until
Yeah.
you're just
Mm.
vomiting green
Oh,
shit up.
yeah. Just yeah. But
And
I
that's it.
tell
And
you
in the
what,
end, at the end of that,
I mean, if I
you'd
was
be
gonna
that
do it
cat
that
with
way,
the.
if I was gonna have to do a whole Oscar, the easiest way for me was I'd be just doing brownies. I could easily dump
Yeah.
a whole Oscar
Well, remember when we
into a
made that
brownie
tea?
mix. Oh,
We put a whole ounce into a fuck of heads into a teapot.
it was it was definitely an experience. I gotta say
And
that
we're
it
like,
was
where was this from? And then like it turned out actually it was actually somebody else's.
already put their own in there as well, and it's like
And we're
double
like, oh,
double.
sorry,
Oh,
yeah,
we added
used
quite a
that
bit
up.
more.
Yeah, we've done that. Yeah, we've sorry, yeah. That was nice as a tea. I mean, we've actually done a few crazy shit like that. I mean, the tea was good, but I think we leveled the fuck up on when I was making the stews.
Oh, the one
Fuck.
up on top of the
That was one on, yeah,
mountain,
that one. Oh my
the
gosh, man.
mountain stew with the
That
weather,
was with the weather. Oh.
so I think that was the only thing that was actually. I
It
think
was.
if you were wanted to survive and the weather was like it was, and you were out in the bush, making one of them stews and doing what we do's,
Yeah.
you would have easily survived.
Yeah. Yeah. We were in so much rain. We were actually up in the rain where it was
Torrential.
coming. And so we were like, they weren't falling on us. The rain was actually just swirling around us. It was
Because
just
we had a
all
shelter
everywhere.
above, like there was
Yes,
a
but
primitive
yeah.
shelter.
But we were on top of a mountain,
Yeah,
so
primitive
the
shelter
rain was
there, but there was
sideways
no
everywhere.
walls in the structure, so.
And what did we have? We just had a potbelly
Yeah, and
that
we were on
with a
one
monster.
side of the wall where we had like a down in the little bit of a
Little bit of a.
like a dugout bit.
That's
So
right.
we're in the dugout pit, wet as fuck. It
Just
was awesome.
rotating
Yeah,
clothes to just switch
that's
them,
it.
like dry them on the heat
Yeah, Dano up
yeah.
there, and the druid. No, well, no, it wasn't druid. It was
No,
sorry,
no, it was no monster.
monster. Monster was there. That's it.
Yeah. Mm. That was loose as fuck. And then
Oh,
I remember we tried to make
unbelievable.
the next stew down at the house, but it wasn't. And
It
then
didn't
we
have
had
the.
heart.
It didn't
No, I
have
had
the.
No, didn't we all have heart palpitations that night? Like we woke up all like
I
fucking
think
just.
someone was
Oh,
throwing
fucking
mushrooms in there
Jesus,
too,
man! Oh
man.
my
I tell
gosh,
you,
man! Like
I was
it
very
was
sus.
crazy shit, man. That was wild.
Seriously sus
So,
stuff going on there. I think
fuck.
people were adding extra stuff. I don't know.
Mm.
Like I know that they did a couple of brews, but yeah, there was a lot of leftovers after that. The little field
Mhm.
expedition. Oh, best New Year's Eve ever.
Mhm.
Overlooking that cliff and just
I wonder if I could make, maybe if I could manage to get enough money, I could like make it up there this year. I could just, buy a fucking ounce and just like, we could just try it. We could get Mr. Bungle,
bam, bam.
the three of us, and just
Mm,
try our hardest.
yeah, uh,
Third,
mess up,
seems reasonable.
mess up.
Third seems reasonable.
Decent stew.
Oh, geez,
Boys
man. No,
okay.
no,
Boys
no.
okay.
Like, stew it? Do you think we should stew it again, though? Like, or just smoke it?
Yeah, our best.
Has the youngling who's no longer a youngling and but hasn't yet voted, have they shown any curiosity
No,
in anything? No,
no.
yeah, right. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting that, hey, because I grew up in a cigarette smoking house, but it wasn't being in a cigarette smoking house that actually gave me the
Peer
interest.
pressure.
It was peer pressure that gave me the
Seeing
interest.
someone else do it, it probably keep you
Oh, no,
away
being
from
told I
anything.
was like I'd be a little
Might
bitch
give
if I
you
didn't do it.
an aversion rather
Oh,
than
you little bitch, you can't fucking take a
yeah, that's
cigarette.
right.
That was
That's
me when I was like
yeah.
13 or 14. You little
Mm,
bitch.
yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not a bitch. So here,
Getting
I take a puff of
slapped
this.
and
Oh,
shit. Yeah.
you little
Yeah.
girl, you coughed, you little girl. That was my first freaking inhalation of a cigarette. And then the next thing was this dude trying to do we had to do the
For me,
arms
it was
next to
just
each other.
some dude.
I'm like, I'm not a girl, I'm not a girl,
One of my mates stealing his
I'm not weak, I'm
mum's
not weak.
doughies from, a packet of doughies from his mum. Trying it out, us all coughing our guts out, all of us laughing at each other like bunch of
No, yeah,
idiots.
these
And
guys
then it
were
was well
like,
into my 19s and 20s that I actually took it up again because everybody else was doing it.
yeah, that's it. No, mine was like, yeah, that we did that, and I coughed up, and they taunted me about it, and then, and I was like, oh, that's not cool, and I'm not wuss. And like, I just want to say, I don't have any things that well, women, I think, are like beasts, weapons. So, yeah, but that's just how I was. I was 14 and 13, and and
Impressionable.
someone's calling you a girl, and you're like, I'm not a girl. But I did do it, but then. But then I wanted to prove that I wasn't. They said, well, since you coughed, then the way to prove that you aren't. What was the game called? Where you'd put a lit cigarette, you'd put your arms together,
Mm,
like a long ways.
mm,
So your fists are like, and then you put a lit cigarette between your arms,
mm-hmm.
and who flinches first?
Oh, the Bernie game.
The Bernie game. I won.
Yeah.
Once we got to.
I experienced that later when they were doing the silly games of who could hold the thing on there the longest.
Yeah.
And yeah, I ended up with a little mark on the back of the hand, but it's
Yep.
faded over time. But
So
yeah,
you won?
I was pretty good at stubbing it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mama didn't raise no bitch.
No, that's it. I sort of said something. It's like, and the mother unit this Monday, she
Mm.
fucking, there was a moment there, and she just came up with, oh yeah, I did what I did because I wanted you to be strong. I was just like, I actually like crumpled onto the ground for a moment, just to like,
Just a
what the
moment, please.
fuck, just a what the fuck, and then when I
That's it.
restabilized myself and came back into the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
right, yeah, okay, you
Okay.
did
Okay.
that for my benefit. That was for my
Yeah.
benefit.
Just
Oh,
needed a
jeez.
slight purging. Hope you don't mind.
Yeah, I managed to make the purge quiet, so I could. I didn't want to bother her with the
Don't
reality of
worry, I'm
it.
screaming on the inside.
That's right. Yeah, totally. It's funny. Yeah, well, it did, but I do not think that was the actual reason. It seems I think that's retconned to the max. It's like, give me a break.
Oh,
Hell.
fun child memories, childhood
Oh,
memories.
the floggings.
How many times did you have the switch? Or the electric, right? Was it the
Oh,
electric
and yeah,
cord? Oh, the old
yeah, the
power
electric.
cord.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what you do is you get a
wielded
five,
like a
6 meter.
whip.
Yeah,
That was,
yeah,
they were
you get that
expert at
up.
that shit, man.
You rope that thing up so it's a bit of a
Yeah.
cat of nine tails, and you just flog a child like 100 times
Yeah,
until they're on the
yeah.
ground, just bleeding. You just fucking keep
Hmm,
hitting them, man. That's it. That's how you do it. That
that's
teaches
it.
them to, for example, not spill
Teach
milk
him, teach him how to have
on the
respect
floor.
and not spill
You know.
milk on the floor. Very important. Very
Yeah.
important to a child's development, of course.
It is. It is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It gives him that hardening. If you're gonna make a
Yeah.
diamond out of it, you don't rub it with a soft feather.
No.
You chip away at it, and you polish it after you've severely crafted in the dimensions that you want it to be. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, the ice cream only comes after the beating, for the softening. The
You
ice
can't
cream,
have any
the
pudding
ice
until
cream
you've
is the
had your
equivalent
beating.
of the,
You can't
the
have any
nice
pudding.
little polishing
Oh,
rag after
jeez,
you've,
mummy.
given
Jeez.
it a good beating.
No, no, you can't have your pudding until you've had your beating.
Oi!
Oi!
You! Behind the shed! Yes, you
Yes,
laddie!
you! Thank you, Roger Waters and team. Yes,
Beautiful,
yes,
wasn't
yes.
it? Hey,
Oh, my fucking gold, man.
that's it.
I haven't listened to that in a
We've
long
always
time.
been the lovers of the Floyd. Yeah,
Yeah, I just think that
not
like in my
George,
life,
but the Pink.
no,
Yeah, I mean,
Pink.
all respects to the George.
Yeah. No, it's
Pink,
all, yeah,
Pink was our
it was well filmed. I was impressed.
master of ceremonies.
Yeah, Floyd, you caused mass chaos. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if
But
anything
your love
changed.
of crack will survive, I promise.
Don't worry, crack's going well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't lost. It's not lost hope.
Hunter's doing his best to keep up your memory.
Oh, is there any? I think I've heard that
Convicted
the
on
hunter.
on 3 charges. Yeah.
Oh, was convicted, was he?
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck.
What the fuck?
I know, right? Yeah.
Who hasn't tried a bit of crack?
Yeah. Well, actually,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I have. Fucking hell.
Fuck, man.
Don't do it again, though. Fuck
No,
that.
you
That
understand
was
your limits, see? Straight up, you're
fuck.
like,
That was like no way.
that's
And
just
I knew
way too
before.
good.
I knew
Yeah.
before I took it. I actually
No,
took steps to make sure
naughty.
that when I took it,
Mm.
that I would not be able to take any more.
Yeah.
And I would be isolated from it. So I just
True.
had to deal with it because
Well, I mean,
otherwise,
you got to be the
you don't make
scientist.
it
You
through.
can't be
You
the
don't make it through.
scientist if you just get stuck on the same experiment.
No,
Am I not true in my
no,
words?
that's yeah,
Be the scientist.
yeah, that's right.
Don't be the
Yeah,
fool.
no,
Get stuck on the same thing.
no, it did. It took me, even though, yeah, I did the right thing there. I yeah, hoofed a crack pipe for a fucking good couple hours there. Just really smacked, got hard, got whacked.
Was that
So
when you did the revisit up here
fuck.
to Banana Land? Yeah.
Yeah, I was up
Yeah.
there. Yeah, and what I did was I planned because I was off to Woodford Folk Festival the next morning, and so I got myself out of the place, took myself to a friend's house, and just like spoke at about 1,000 miles an hour until it
Detox.
was daylight, and then just left and got a taxi to the pickup point,
Yeah.
and then like slept under it, like under
Wind down
a
and
ute
get the earthy
in the
feeling
grass,
going.
like while I was like, it was so just. I think the thing which people don't realize with ice, like that stuff, is that you think that there's like, you're high and then you go up and then but actually, and then you're not. But with that stuff, there's actually like 3 or 4 phases
Yeah, where you
to
go
the
through
experience.
waves. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, not even up,
Or
but like there's that.
intensities. That's it.
Yeah, and because the final phase sort of is actually like this massive discombobulation, like where you
Where you're
can't.
disjointed. That's right.
Yeah, like I like someone asked me, like, because we're at Woodford Folk, and I was like, oh, they said, can you drive the car and just up to the thing and just show them the tickets? And I said, I can either drive the car or show them the tickets, but I cannot do both. I can't even remember what you're talking about. I don't know. I can just drive. So I just drove. I have no idea. And someone else had to do the tickets because I would have just completely been confused. Yeah, I would have lost it, eh? And so
you needed one task and one task only. That's the way it is. You when you're doing that shit, some instances you're either all in it or you're
you
in
drop
for
you drop from a
you're in for
Cert
a
4
real rough
diploma,
ride.
Cert
That's
5
it.
diploma down to Cert 1.
You've
Any
decided
skill.
to up that level to extra hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're not willing to ride the wave.
I swear, I feel like, so the counter of that, like, because I couldn't do that, so like, I hoofed after that weed and everything. Like, I think it actually took me a year from doing one night before it was actually had recovered.
It made that much of an impression.
And like I counterpointed it, like I said, like I said, I
And
ended up
some of
coming up
those
the end of
things
the week.
you can understand how that
Oh
user
fuck!
would
Well, the discombobulation.
crawl over their dying grandmother to get it.
Yeah, that's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Totally, 100%, man. Because once you get to that discombobulation stage, it feels like it's not. You're just so dysfunctional, and the only the thing inside you is, oh, I know how to fix this. I was super competent just back before.
I could do anything.
And so, and so what happens to where people say, oh, people only have to do ice one time and then they're done. No, what happens is they do ice one time and then they can't come down off it because the come down's so complicated.
Yeah.
And goes through these phases that are actually other forms of high from it.
Yeah.
That they have to go back.
Graduated high. Yeah.
Before they've even come down off the one,
they want
they're fucked.
that
like
max
you can't,
dopamine.
Well, you can't. Yeah, but you can't. But you
level.
can't function.
Hmm.
So if you either don't function for 12 hours and you're just a wreck on the ground, or you go,
Mm.
give me that thing again so I can keep going.
Yep.
And as
Yeah.
soon as you do that,
Need to maintain. Yeah.
the end.
The
The end.
requirement to maintain. Yeah.
You're in.
That's
You're
it.
fucking in there.
Done and dusted.
Yep. No way, man.
It's club crack from now on and nothing else. Because crack is your best friend. Don't you
It
fucking
is.
forget
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You make sure the crack gets everything it needs. Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, pain.
Mm.
Saw the
Yeah,
pain.
look, he saw the pain. Hey, old Da Vinci.
Yeah.
He would have been on it.
Yeah, of
He was
course.
on shit, eh? What do you reckon he would have been on?
Back then, it would have been the old
Oh,
opium and
yeah.
you know, coca leaf
Bit of,
extract.
yeah, yeah. And maybe a bit of wormwood, bit of
Oh, who knows what they could probably
absinthe.
snorting fucking sulfur and shit. You know? Getting the vapors
Brutal.
going on.
Going
You know?
the vapes.
Go the
Oh.
old vapors.
Oh, that would have been harsh, man. Far out.
Sulfur and brimstone pipes.
Have you ever known anyone who's sniffed petrol?
When I was a kid, we had one young fella that was blind. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, back then having lead in it,
I
it
haven't.
was
I
it was
haven't. No way.
wrecking.
It's
You saw
wrecking.
people who did it, and
Yeah, it's a
it was a wrecking
yeah.
recreation. Yeah,
It's a path. It opens
it
the path to hell.
yeah, true,
Yeah.
true,
That's.
true
I mean,
fucked upness. That
yeah,
would be
people have
the
explained that to me.
true probably expression for it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't have to because I saw others and what had
Yeah.
happened to them.
No. Yeah. No way. Hey.
Definitely
No.
not my path.
Nah. That's crazy shit, man. It's
Oh, I
amazing
know.
what humans will ingest, though. We're just so we're
Well,
insanity, man.
when sorrow and bitter disappointment, and no future is the only option, then you
What do you
know
do?
it. Those sorts of things would be your choices for the opting out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to die, like because we're not, we're so trained in, that you're basically
Keeping
the property of the
the
state. So,
preservation of the life. Yeah.
well,
Or
preservation of the
preservation of
equipment,
current state, perhaps. That's probably
of the
best.
equipment, of the tool, your property. Like.
Hang
Mm,
on, one moment.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Being property of the state. And so how to survive that? Yeah. Like I actually in a situation that I'm talking about like that, like where, yeah, where just like, you can't die until you've put your economic value back into the nation. Like, just, do you realize that about the whole thing of like borders and immigration? We have this thing, it's like the way it's presented to us is as if immigration laws and things are keeping people out. Yeah. But actually, it's not about keeping people out. It's about keeping people in because they can't get the fuck out of your bloody country, and so they have to be an asset to the country. It's fucked
Yeah.
up. Like and they try and and this whole thing like, oh, you got to go to. I don't know if they're up in Queensland. Oh, it's actually New South Wales one. That like school refusal is just off the charts. Like,
Hmm. The
kids are just going, fuck yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Don't
going.
want to do it. Yeah.
When because there's no
It's the
point.
next level of this. It's what our parents went through the '60s. It's a new
Mm.
version of the '60s.
Oh, this is interesting.
The rebellious
Oh,
stage.
yeah, but it's the rebellious stage because there's literally no purpose.
Mm,
It's not even. I don't think it's rebellious. I think it's actually recognition of like, what would it matter if I went to school the whole time?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you're never going to buy a house. You're never going to do anything. You're just going to be some person's like little,
Little
you know, just bucket for
their
entertainment, little kick toy.
receptacle,
That's receptacle.
receptacle
Basically,
and kick
that's
toy.
the option in this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll have your universal income and you'll like it.
You will.
You
Yeah.
will enjoy the bug biscuits and gravy,
Mm.
just
And
like
if you're allergic to the
just like
bugs,
Mummy used to make.
that's right. If you're allergic to the bugs, you just die. Because you won't survive on the gravy.
Well, this spoils not.
No, it's finished up. Time to move on. Ooh. Oh, what was that?
Had a little pressed a key
Did I?
and you made a little likey thing.
I did, but I didn't press a key. I actually oh.
Maybe you said a
No.
keyword which was
What did I do? Yeah, how weird.
sometimes you
What
get a little key.
happened? I don't know. What did I do? Oh, how? Oh, no, I don't want both on the screen. Off the screen. No.
Huh?
Oh, cool. The question mark cyan.
Yeah.
How do I kill it? How do I kill the? Maybe I press delete. Oh, I better be careful. I accidentally delete myself. Yeah. What have I done?
Coming bad decisions detected.
Oh, there we go.
Good. Oh, that was a good
I don't
recovery.
know what that was.
That was a really good recovery. I think we made it through that, and with that minimal damage. That's the one we got to. Yeah. Always remember minimal damage.
Yes.
Strafing left and right. Always strafing. Good arcs of possible damage.
Those feet
by
just
strafing.
Sliding along the floor.
Rotating so quickly. Like that. I have been enjoying anime. I've got to admit. Like I've had my fair share of
What's your favorite so far this season?
I did. Hang on, I'm gonna pop it open so I'll go back to the stream.
Nice.
But I have been loving the anime on that. So Mash Bernadette. It is just I'm up to like season 214, F14 now.
Yeah,
so
good.
I am just totally I'm mashed in. I'm good on Mash. Mash is the man. Like
so have you got your cream puffs?
If anyone's gonna sort it out with his fists and then finish it off with cream puffs, he is the man. Like he is doing the what no other man's done before. In this magic world in which we live.
Oh, so you've just started season 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Just the beginning.
Yeah. But I watched Chilling in Another World with level 2 super cheap powers. I don't know if you've seen that one. That's actually very fucking funny. It's awesome. It's such a good. Like I've totally enjoyed that. And then what else was it? Finished off my last couple of Bikini Warriors, which gets me up to date. Beast Tamer.
Rent a Girl.
Beast Tamer. I want to be the Beast Tamer. Like. I'm just.
But that's not on Crunchy, is it? Beast Tamer's not on Crunchy.
It is. Beast Tamer's on Crunchy.
Oh, is it?
Now. Yeah.
I thought Beast Tamer was hentai.
Well, it is, but it's covered up. It's the covered up version of. Like it's still got all the sound effects, but it's all the naughty bits is all covered up. Yeah.
Beast Tamer.
Harem in the Labyrinth of Another
hang on, no, Beast Tamer.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's fantastic. That show. Yeah, that's so funny. Like,
I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, no, it was different. It's this other one. I'm thinking something else. No, that's not.
Yeah. Beast Tamer was excellent.
But he's so cool. Hey,
Magic and Muscles. The Mashal.
Mashal is just. Oh, did you do? Did you finish? Did you finish? Punchline?
Yeah. It's. I think I did the last of the punchline.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
It wasn't really about the panties after all, was it?
No, I knew it wasn't. I knew.
No, sure.
Yeah. I was well aware that it wasn't the panties, but yeah.
I got a little frustrated at times in Beast Tamer. Like the guy is just so gullible.
No, he's so nice.
Not nice. He's not
Yeah,
gullible.
yeah.
He's nice.
It's not Nice is his special weapon. I
Mm.
reckon that's it. You saw what happened when his girl went down. Like, he ain't nice. If
No,
he lost what he loved in that world,
mm,
there'd be a reckoning. You know what I
it would.
mean? Like, yeah.
And I love how like the heroes like it's just like the hero party and they're just like real bums because they've just been assigned the hero title, so they're just
Mm.
like, yeah, I'm the hero.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't
we're
do
the
anything.
heroes. You know, we've got the title, but they weren't doing anything. They're just mooching. Expect people to give them free stuff for doing nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and treating the
Just
beast
being
tamers as crap. And then it
being
turns
self.
out beast tamer is like, what do you mean a beast tamer did that? No, beast. That's what?
Yeah, no, that's not
What?
possible. That's not possible. You're telling lies.
Who
Like, no,
is
no.
this?
There shouldn't be any beast tamer that can control more than one creature is impossible. You know, some, at the very high levels might be able to control two or three. And he's just like, army of fucking what? Oh, it was wicked.
I really hope that gets a
I did
second season.
enjoy
Hey,
it, man. Yeah,
I mean,
very cool.
there's no because there's more to it,
Yeah,
but
I know, I
like
know.
it's just whether it's just a lead into the watching, getting the manga, or if it's like actually they will do it and I'll do the rest of it because some of them are just really end up
But
being
yeah,
ads
mainly
that
just
force
finishing off a
pushing
couple
the
that I'd
manga.
started watching. So yeah,
Mm.
that's good. Harem,
Consuber,
Harem,
I got.
Harem in a Labyrinth of Another World was superb. Truly, truly superb.
What's the? I think the one that labyrinth. That's something like that would
But I got
be.
Bartender
Is it
Glass of
okay to?
God
No, is it
to,
okay to
to
pick up
watch
dungeons?
and huh?
Is it okay? No, that if you. Is it okay? Is that it? No. No, is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon?
I've seen
That's
that. I've actually seen
you
that
have
one.
you
Yeah,
have seen
hang
that
on.
one? Yeah. Yeah. It's got a number of seasons. It's
Yeah.
really good. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a
Yeah,
dungeon?
yeah. First season two.
There's a few seasons to it. Is it? Oh, 2 seasons. There's only two. I
No, that
thought it
was
was heaps
actually
more than
pretty
that.
good too. Like it was a lot better than the uh other one we were.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Uh, when it popped up, this is like just a little fun one, which is called "Do It Yourself."
yeah, I got that in there as to watch. So
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's nice. Like just people growing
just
in
cute.
themselves and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's not like having to be cray cray.
But no,
Yes.
there's been some good. Like I'm glad I jumped back in again.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
it's definitely
grown.
got heaps more now. Um,
We were at 2 hours, 2 minutes, and about. Let me just pause. 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 2 seconds away from Kaiju number 8. Next episode. Man, last episode was.
pretty good.
It
Yeah,
was real
I'm
solid,
gonna wait until
eh?
the whole thing drops and then I'll just watch it. But
Ah, you're
don't, no
cheating!
spoil, no spoily, no
No,
spoily.
you're cheating.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and I've been watching Konosuba. That's been good.
yeah.
Um, I
Yeah,
caught myself up on that.
Konosuba is excellent. Like
It's so absurd. Like he's
it
just like.
is, it is, and that's what makes it so good. I think. You know what I mean? Its absurdity makes it fantastic.
Mm. And they just keep going. The character, like this, just anyway. I wish I'd seen the earlier seasons.
Hmm.
So I've only seen the basically Konosuba 3 and Konosuba like the which is the origin story of oh, what's her name? No, Aqua. Oh, God,
We
how have I
love
forgotten it?
Casio. That's all I can say.
Oh, yeah. What's that from? Is that from The Godfather or something? What is it? What's
Casino,
the?
wasn't it? Or
Oh,
it's a piss
oh,
take on Casino with
Casino.
Casio. Yeah, got my
Ah,
favorite Casio watch there.
I was trying to work it out. Oh yeah.
Selena
Let me
Casio.
turn. Mm.
Yeah, that was the to get the bee's knees, back in the
Mm.
like, is it 70s that come out? Sure, it was 70s, wasn't it?
I think it must have been late 70s, early 80s, I'd say.
Early 80s.
Perhaps. Digital watch.
Everyone wanted a Casio. The Solar Casio was
Didn't you have a solar Casio?
I think at one
What was
stage
it? Yeah, I thought it was an analog watch, but it was like
with the LED freaking display. Had one.
I remember something on your yep. Okay, I'm going to attempt
Now
to exit
I've got
screen.
the special hand me down from father.
Oh, that's.
Yeah. Just,
Did he? Yeah, did he?
no, he chose pretty well. Like, it was G-Shock triple sensor. It's got full solar.
That's
So
good. Nah, G-Shocks. Yeah.
it was completely flat when I first grabbed it,
Hmm.
and we're going sorting through the usual exiters' possessions of their last possessions before exit, and yeah, stuck it in the sun for a couple of days and then fully charged, and I went, keep wearing it to remember you.
Yeah. Yeah. Those G-Shocks they're a damn good watch.
They're a hand me down from one generation. There you go.
Yeah.
Just keep it in the sun for a couple of hours every. Never
It'll
have
keep
to.
on giving.
Yeah. Never
We'll just
have to
keep. Okay. Let me see
buy
if I
another watch
can
again.
flee screen. Ah, yes. Look at that. Excellent. I'm off screen. Ah, damn it! It caught me.
Gotcha.
Gosh.
I'm gonna just. Easiest way is just to be there, and I'll teleport you out. There you go. You've been
But then
teleported out.
But then if you put me back in, I guess. Oh, because then
No,
it
because
can't.
I've teleported you out. You can't
Okay.
accidentally. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
So
have
I
your
can't. You've
you
limited
know.
my Fenty powers.
I've rendered your Fenty powers obsoletum. I've cast a spell upon it. Yeah.
No.
You'll never Fenty again.
It's a bit of fun sometimes actually, like in watching watching the shorts and things.
Yeah, when you do the full.
Just like all over the place, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy
Well, that's what I
sometimes.
like about mine. I mean, I can go into camera mode, or I can just leave it sit there and it'll animate when I'm talking. So it's good value. You know, the price is free, so it's the best price I bought. It's
Free.
cheaper than cheap. And it's free.
Now, do I have a little bit? Yeah, I might have a little bit of treat. No, maybe I have that after. No, no, no. I'm not hungry. I don't need a treat. Just have a beer.
Yeah. Daily calorie count achieved.
I don't know if I told. I've lost 5 kilos in 5 days.
Cyber diet.
Well, I mean, just withdrawal, partly. So a bit of a reduction in consumption, and because I just can't. And I think also, like, just it must have been holding stuff in my body or something. And I'm back in the room, and because it doesn't make sense to lose 5 kilos in 5 days. That's a hell of a lot of weight. But man, I look at my legs, like when I do
That's
my
a lot of
morning
beast
routine.
chuggers. You know what I mean?
Me, I have returned. Bring me back, buddy.
Hang on. I'll be back.
Oh, we're
Morning,
both.
Winter. Yeah. I went AOL just self. I'll enable you. Teleport you back in. I mean, we have the technology.
We do.
Harvard's already realised, that we've had bases on centuries. We've always had bases.
What?
We don't have
What
to.
the? What the? It was.
Harvard studies the. What sort of theory? We don't need theory. Fact. It's a conspiracy fact.
What was Rogan going on about? That was weird, man. I was thinking, oh, you don't really know what you're talking about. You're like, you are talking about it. It's not
Yeah.
what you think it
Yeah.
is.
I mean,
So,
is it not
anyway,
news? Is it true? Is it false? I mean, I know he does a lot of bullshit. So do we.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I mean,
it's
if anything, we're like probably Aussie version of Rogan.
oh,
Because of the amount of shit we talk about. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
man, if we become the Aussie
If we
version of
become the
Rogan,
Aussie version of Rogan, everyone wants to fucking
we've
get
recorded this
interviewed by a
moment
puppet fucking, controlling another puppet. Hmm.
How would Rogan interview us?
We'd have to be virtual. Um,
Yeah,
I'd refuse. I'd just have a screen, in landscape. Have me avatar.
You just bring in a
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course. You
bring in
just
the
bring in an
fucking screen, mate.
80-inch
Come on.
monitor, just whack that in there
We're
vertical, just
digital
smash that
fucking
shit in there. Yeah, what are you talking about?
just turn your screen on the side button. I'll be there in a
Well,
minute.
I've literally,
Just pop
yeah,
up.
I've tried to coerce. Yeah, anyway, I'm no longer in the power of that, but I really tried to
Yeah.
coerce like a Smash anime and manga conference in Australia to go vertical screens with VTuber meets, and I talked to Sony about it. I had the opportunity last year to talk to Sony about well, the Sony representative about how to do that and the work that we'd been doing and how practical it really was. Like it was quite reasonable to have because
Easy.
most of those professional ones are all 2D.
Yeah.
But I mean, also if you're like Sony and shit, and you've got people, wouldn't you put in their mocap suits and just go full blown?
Yeah, cool.
Wouldn't you? Like, what's
Yeah.
the issue?
I mean, what's stopping you fucking doing holographic?
Oh well, well, no. I mean, there are some technologies that
Hmm.
that
But I
aren't
mean,
bad around that.
but having the vertical screens is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. I mean, my goal would be to use holographic projections and massive ones, like 40-foot high, like holographic characters on a stage.
Well, if
Like,
you're that far away from it, you have it all in 3D.
yeah, yeah, you could, but there are like, if you've seen those. Actually, check out this thing called I'll just get the link for it. It'd be interesting to bring up if it can. Hypervisor.
Something.
Yes, HyperVSR, Hypervision. Here we go. Check this shit, rare.
Check.
You've already got a thing set up for putting web
Articles.
browser article
Sure.
web behind us. Hey, yeah, because I don't have that. I could do it, but
So,
Mhm.
hang on.
I'd like to really represent these guys in Australia. It's freaking. I mean, it's it'll get wiped by something else in a couple of years, but um, this stuff's great. Oh yeah, Solo, nice. Hologram. So they got Smart V Solo, Hypervision Solo, holographic humans, catalogs, and smart walls. Oh yeah, baby. So yeah, they've got, and this is not messing around, man. It's very, and the main thing they're using here is
Oh.
have a look.
Ah. Okay. You're lucky.
So yeah, that's that one. I'd
You're
like to get,
lucky.
and I'd like to do a Hypervision smart wall. If I
One of
could,
these. Yeah.
yeah, big ones though. Like I'd like one that's like for event level, like not little. And so, and you can actually do live broadcast. So if you were like somewhere else and then you're a 3D thing, and you're obviously just putting in a signal, it's just a signal, then the signal can pipe through this and be real timing. So you can be elsewhere, just totally like, yep. And you know what it uses? I mean, it's a much more, like, it's a very nuanced version of it, but it's the spinning LED fans.
Ah,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
yes.
But whole arrays of them,
Mm,
which I thought about a long time ago and would
like
love
a
to have done in an event. Was trying to look
multi-level
at,
array.
well, even planar, but
Because
no, no,
you could
because
have it multi-level
haven't you seen one of
array.
those like in a J car or
Yeah,
something?
but
And
if
they,
you
yeah,
had one behind the other behind the
yeah,
other,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
then they
yeah.
were then simulating the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm. One of the things I'd like to, oh, there's one of the things that's really cool with that. So everyone's wondering all these things like, yeah, I don't know, like go to the, did you just choose the, which one did you click on then? The
I clicked
human or
on
the wall?
this one.
Yeah,
Wall.
try the human one. The human one's really interesting. It's
This one?
basically a, no, no, the one at the bottom.
Solo? Okay. Oh, human. Yes.
Because the other
I
ones are
like
based on this.
pop-up human.
Oh yeah.
You know, every good sci-fi adventure has a pop-up human asking you
Mm.
questions about your
Wow, what's
sanity
happened
and
to your
stuff.
network at home?
Oh, it's very
Wow. Yeah, wow. It's very used, shall we say.
well. I'm sharing. Remember, I
Mm.
don't have a. Oh, hello, friend. With tattoo on
Mm.
foot. Noticed.
Mm. Mm-hmm. And so they're in like a cylinder type thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, they can sort of see it just to the side there a little bit.
Sorry, I'm not spacing
Do a
well on
scrolly scroll.
not spacing well on my
Yeah, why is it going vertical? Oh, there's look there, this thing, go down the bottom.
yeah.
Scroll down. See, there's the unit.
Ah, here this
Yeah.
the
See how it's
the
got this.
fans.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
and glass box.
Yeah, and then they've got like and then what they've got is software. You know, the
Mm,
software layer
mm,
is really the key. And
yep.
that's what I kind of realized too when I was thinking about this back in like 2014,
Mm, mm,
and how I do that at events to make like just amazing experiences.
yep.
But the hard bit was the software. And so what I was thinking of at that time was where I would make like a big three-dimensional, say thing, whatever, like animation situation. There was a screen worth of stuff.
So there you
And then
go.
what it
It comes with a suite now, so that you can do your
that's
own
the software suite,
web-based.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
manage
So yeah, what I
3D and 2D content.
my original thought was like because they couldn't, I didn't have the software stacks and shit, was that what I would do is render the content and then put it on SD cards. So
Mm-hmm.
like split up the image into like say there's 25
Multiple.
fans that,
Yeah.
yeah. So you split it up into its segments, render like have them as different videos, chop them all, put them all onto an SD card, and so that then they all play as individual units. Where this is like really controlled and really
Yeah.
cool, but um,
Oh,
and oh, the solo, yeah, this is new, the solo one. This is one that can sit on a desk and stuff. So you could be like a receptionist in 10 different offices.
special multi-face of
Mm,
the corporation.
this will be, oh, here we go. Diameter, depth, depth, net, input 1080. Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
910. Yep, yep. 1080, 1080.
I wish I could scroll.
But shouldn't that just be the whole background?
I think it's designed for widescreen, like not
Oh, but
vertical.
no, but can't, but in thing, can't you make it the full screen like in OBS? Like, can't you just drag it wide?
No, no, because it's on a vertical screen. I'm showing it on a vertical
Oh,
by
oh
the
yeah, no, right, yeah, right,
gig.
yeah.
That's actually the full screen of my vertical.
Ah, I like it though. That's and this is the other
Very
thing that
inventive. I like the whole fan principle to make the 3D. It's excellent.
mm, yeah, they and the key was, as I figured out as well, was the software element, and so
Mm,
they've got that. So yeah, I thought about this for about 10 years, but they and these are the guys. That's why I'd like to represent them
very
because I
cool.
totally get the gear because I spent a long time making it up myself.
Yeah,
So,
true.
and thankfully they did it, so I can just now do the thing. I did write to them; they were interested, but then I didn't really have any ability to do much about it, so it was a little, yeah.
That's the problem with having ideas. Like, it's great to have ideas, but unless you got that,
yeah. Unless you got someone else's money,
yeah. Well,
or you got
the
generational
make it
wealth.
happen stuff, things that dreams are made of, the make it happen stuff.
Breasts.
That's not the only thing that makes it happen. So come on. I mean, it helps. It
Mate, no
helps.
dick in this world's getting hard without breasts. Just come on, come on. Well, maybe a bit of a butt might look like a breast, so you get hard there. But you know, that's here. Look, see, he's driving. He's like,
yeah.
I gotta protect those breasts.
That's it. The only thing that's important in this world, was it? What's the motto or the creed? Stroke titties, suck titties, spend fitties. Isn't that the one? Come on, I don't know.
Hang on, let me try and say that. It's so not my wheelhouse. So let me just try that. What is it? Drink something?
No, stroke kitties. Like
stroke
pat
kitties,
suck
suck
titties,
titties,
suck titties,
pat kitties, suck
yeah,
titties,
yeah,
and spend fitties. Yeah, right. Nice. That's some sagely advice. I can see like
a creed to keep.
I can see a country in the future of Earth like actually just that's their way of being.
They've decided.
It's just like
they've made that decision.
And that's like a very matriarchal society. Like the women are just there proudly, like breasts out. Men are like just like, just patting. Like, and everyone's just there's cats everywhere.
Up,
a lot of love
their
cats.
kitties and then
that's right.
sucking them titties and
well, did you?
I
didn't think that it was patting the vagina or the vulva. I thought it was actually kitties.
No,
I thought they were trying to do three things.
Furry,
I didn't think it was actual cats.
They are similarly furry if they're not well kept, but the actual the small purring ones was probably the option.
I was thinking about this the other day. Oh, I don't know. You don't know. I've shaved all my hair off.
Oh, okay. You've gone
like full
Greek style.
Well, the tattooing will be good.
Other than the remove of the hair, you've taken your hair off the head.
Oh, totally. Oh yeah, no, I have a nice little arrangement down there that no one sees,
Okay.
But up the top, I've shaved it all off.
This direction to the
I shaved my balls for years, man. Surprise. I don't know. But here's the stupidest thing I ever did was like
I always get rash and shit like back in the day, like when I was
you've got to really
going through that phase when
what you figure out what you learn. What you learn is that you've got to keep shaving them and it stops rashing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because the skin gets tough.
Tough under the skin.
So you can have tough balls, man, balls, and they like, and they're just like,
hit him with a hammer.
And you get your hand, and you give them a squeeze, so they're like, nice and stretched out, so that the blade doesn't have to deal with any issue. You get the old scraping there, like, let's suck it.
It's ready. It's like the same thing that used to, sharpen a cutthroat on. It's like it's got that real.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I use a cutthroat on my scrotum, man. I mean, a safety.
No, I'm not
saying
use one. I'm just saying it's got the same, the leathery appearance to the sharpening of the cutthroat. The you can keep one well kept. You don't need a striking strap anymore. You just use your testicle.
Look, I mean, fuck. That's like wild. I am
step too far. I don't know. We're
it's fine.
We're in about 3 hours, so it should be.
No, we've passed 3 hours. Man, we've passed 3 hours. We're on it. We're into the madness now. This is where the real shit starts coming. So I am. The dumbest thing I did about like shaving my balls was my girl at the time was away.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it was actually over in.
Remember, this is adult content.
Yeah.
If you feel you get hurt from fucking 3 hours onwards, then we're really sorry. Not sorry.
Not sauce.
Yeah. Sauce, not sauce. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. So, she had like some VEET, which I don't know if you know what VEET is, but it's like the hair removal cream shit.
That's it. Stroke it. Yeah, just comes.
So I put that on my balls and stuff, and this hair,
Holy
like,
shit, man! So you
fuck,
got to
man, this is
test in a sensitive
fuck,
area
man,
somewhere else before you go
and it's
whacking
like
it in extra
it says.
senso territory.
It says like I read the thing and it says insensitive, leave it on for this long, and then I'm like trying to hold it,
Hell
and
no!
it's
Hell
fucking burning.
no!
I'm like, oh, God,
God
leave it on extra
damn! You're
2
lucky you
minutes,
didn't
man.
get
I'm
some
in the shower. I'm washing this
third
shit off.
degree chemical burns on the
Holy
old
fuck!
nuts-a-roonies, bro.
I got chemical burns on the scrote, bro. My own stupidity. Like, just didn't think that shit through. Scientist mode. Facts. When she came back from like
Ouch.
where it was, oh man, yeah, like
See, that's when like you've got to do scientist. You weren't scientific about it. Just rushed straight.
Nah, it's just rushed.
Yeah, Nelson, if I can teach you anything, always be the scientist. Just a little bit to start,
A little bit, yep.
and then
Well, so that's what I'm
if
going to
that
do actually. So
seems
with that,
successful, try in another spot. Yep, no reaction.
so I'm going to tattoo.
Safe for use.
And when you say tattooing a head, so I'm going to actually do, I don't know, all I'm going to say it's going to be a floral arrangement.
Yep.
I don't know what that exactly means yet,
Hey,
but it is.
it's your temple, buddy. You decorate it exactly the way you want.
So I'm just going to do one little bit. So I don't know why. It's just who I am, I guess. I thought that I needed to get the entire thing done in one sitting. That's how I've thought. And then it was only like the other day I just figured out, like literally this week, I was like, oh, I could just do like a bit at a time. Just like, I don't need $4 grand. I can just do a bit at a time.
Wow.
I don't need to actually sit there for 12 hours getting my head smashed by needles. I could do it like for an hour and then do it another week.
Do it another week and just continue.
I was like, what an idea. Because that's been a limiting factor for me. Well, it's been a real limiting factor. Like there's 2 other tattoos that I've really wanted and I haven't got them done because the scale of them would mean I would need just so much money. And and then suddenly and it was basically on Thursday and I was sitting there in the library. I was doing work for a client. And so I don't look at myself very often, like very rarely.
Yeah.
And so really, actually, the most time I look at myself is if I'm doing a stream or something and I'm seeing my own face, But I was sitting there for 4 hours or some shit, looking at myself in the reflective glass, and I was just like, oh man, I'd bleached my hair. It's all fucked. I just like, sorry, I wanted to. I was like, that's it. I just went and found a place. Like as soon as I was out of there, I walk into this place. It's called the Man Cave. It was hilarious. It's called the Man. Me and in the Man Cave. It's funny. Of course. They're all like, all right, come in. What would you like?
Shave my head.
I said Blade Zero immediately.
Yeah. Take it
like,
off.
oh, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean? What I mean?
Shave my head.
Blade Zero. He's like, but there has the what zero? Who doesn't know what Blade Zero means?
No, well, you should have said shave my head. I want my head shaved.
And I said, grab that, take the comb off there. That. I said, and
actually, I don't want any blade. Use the blade thing to take it down to level 1, and then shave it off.
No, he was cool. He actually did. He went straight 0.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just shave it off.
I'm looking at this guy.
We can do it. Like you think about it, the hair on your head side is just basically an inverted beard. Like it's a beard that grows on the top of your head.
Yeah, but when I've had like a full beard, like I haven't attempted to shave that off in one hit. Like straight up, you cut that off and you shorten it down.
But it's thicker and more.
It is thicker, yeah.
Either curly or whatever shape it decides to come out in.
No, so I just said to this guy, "You're taking too long. This has got too many questions. I just want this shit off my head right now.
Get rid of it."
And so he got into it. 10 minutes.
Douche. Gee.
I was in and out.
Wow. And polished? They buff it?
No,
you didn't go for the buffing option?
No, I can do that myself. So now I'm just doing that in the shower in the morning. I just got my razor.
I'm the same with a massage. They're like, oh, happy ending? No. I can do that myself. It's a lot cheaper.
That's right. Yeah, well, years of practice. The little moments, little things you do. Up and over. Up and over. That's what they say. Up and over. That's the thing. Twist, twist. You do the twist up and then over with the thumb. Twist up over. This is thing. This girl told me that years ago. It was fucking hilarious. I was just like, "What are you fucking serious?" I was just like, "Yeah." I don't know.
Having a religious experience, but it's okay.
You are having a
I'm
religious
coming. I'm
experience.
coming back. I'm reborn. Reborn once again. Didn't quite take 3 days. It was just, a coughing fit.
A coughing fit away. I got to tell you one thing though. If you're into shaving, I think the only thing I haven't shaved off my body.
Be kind. Is that the best advice you can give? Be kind.
I think the only thing I haven't shaved on my body yet is my eyebrows. I've shaved everything else.
I think eyebrows is like the final frontier for most people. Like that's
Well, I almost said it to the guy.
unless it's for a prank or a joke or some sort of charity. Like I don't think most people would want to remove their eyebrows because
I considered saying it to the dude in the man cave.
Face. Changes your face doing that. Like most people, it's eyes, nose, mouth, cheeks, face feature. You know what I mean? But if you look at eyes and eyebrows don't exist above, then you sort of get stuck. You're like, hang on.
It's like looking at women who've done too much plucking.
I'm looking at the wrong picture. Why is the picture wrong here? And then it's like, where are they? And then it's like looking close, and it's like, there are none. What?
Okay, so
the normal eyebrows, eyes, nose, mouth, facial features, ears. You know what I mean? That procedure can't complete because you look for the reference point, which is the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Which is the space between the hairline and the eyebrow. But if the hairline and the eyebrow, that space doesn't exist, then it's sort of like, that's a really long forehead to the eyebrow, like to the eyelid, to the eyelashes. That's a very long forehead between.
It is quite the.
It is.
Yeah.
It's got to be broken up by those little.
I'm wondering.
The splitters.
Where's that?
And like when you go, you're surprised, and your eyebrows go up. Like no one knows when you're surprised when you've got no eyebrows. No one knows when you're sort of mad unless you're.
Celebrities without eyebrows.
Quite a few.
Oh wow! There's Nicolas Cage with no eyebrows.
Yeah. Yep. Quite a few.
I see what you mean. The forehead just goes.
Yeah. You get like this super long forehead because you need the breakup by the eyebrow.
You do, hey? Yeah, Chris Rock with no eyebrows. I wonder if this is like an AI thing.
It's tripping. It's totally tripping because it disorientates you because you're born with a reference, which is eyebrows. Like I said, go through that thing. If the parts don't exist or they're missing, then you have difficulty locking the.
Well, I just had to, of course, because I typed that in.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking down the image search, and there's the Rock with no eyebrow.
Extended
but now I found something even better, which is like celebrities without noses or eyebrows.
Even because it again it's disjointing. You know what I mean? Like it
oh my gosh,
throws off your sense of what a face should be.
I got to send this to you.
Yeah.
Hang on, you might want to. Who knows? But holy fuck! No, hang on. Oh no, it's like is just wrong. So with no noses or eyebrows. There we go. I want to see that more. Or eyebrows. Noseless celebrities.
Yeah, yeah.
Here you
It's a
go.
thing, man. Like it's like you look up anything and you will find it. I promise you will. Okay.
No.
That's what the beauty of the internet and the whole, you know,
you,
if you build it, they will come. Or
I
they will make it.
don't know if you saw the last one I just sent you.
Waiting for it
Okay.
doing. Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
Well, have you seen that one before? Have you?
Yeah, that is magnificent. I love the wheel. The wheel one is
Oh, and of course they've just got a natural photo of Michael Jackson.
yeah. That poor bugger. There
Oh
was
man,
there was
I
some
would
flat
never have
Earth
wanted to
thing
be
that
Michael
came up
Jackson.
this
The
week,
poor
right?
bastard. Yeah,
Because I do keep my eye on the flat Earth stuff, but
of
there,
course,
there
man.
was a
I
return
like
of
that you do.
the people that did the flat Earth movie on uh Netflix, right? And they
What?
yeah, the guys that
Netflix did a flat earther.
yeah, Netflix did a flat Earth
Oh
program.
my god.
These
Okay, I
these
won't find
people
one.
were
Fuck
the
no.
ones that provided the content for it. Apparently they returned back to the apparently was the first like as a return. The audio was bad. The people kept calling the girl that was in the thing in the chat, like they kept calling her Michael Jackson, like a female Michael Jackson, like saying that this is actually Michael Jackson didn't die and this was actually Michael
Oh
Jackson in
no.
disguise. Oh, it was going off. Like the chat was just was just in on both of them, right? Like it was savage, apparently. So very
Oh,
interesting
fucking
turn.
humans, man. So Michael Jackson's returned
Hiding out.
as a
He's
woman.
done a Michael, done a Big
Uh,
Mike.
uh, Big Mike.
Yeah, yeah,
Big Mike, little L.
yeah. Little hell.
Yeah, like I understand like how people don't want people to die.
Yeah.
But, like
Continue.
Michael Jackson was fucked, man. The poor fucker. He was
Yeah,
fucked out. Like
yeah.
he was so.
Basically, raised in a cult similar to mine, and
Hmm.
his father was he knew how to get money and make money, and that was exploitation.
Beating his children, man.
Yeah,
Beat your children, make the money.
yeah.
Doesn't matter if they
If they
die.
ain't earning money, they ain't earning nothing. They
That's it.
they're not part of the family. Daddy knows
Fucking hell.
best.
Daddy. I can't see that. You know that like that thing, that thing you sent me, like what men want, the three things
Oh,
men want or whatever. It was just a fucking like, yeah. But the middle one, like
the first
the
one
word
was
daddy
yeah.
has so ruined.
It
So it's
is,
like,
isn't it?
come
It's
on,
just
daddy's.
so
And it's just like,
perverted.
oh,
It's just
I
been
just was
it's
so.
well above a certain age. It is like once you get to that age where you have true exposure to the internet, then your daddy is ruined forever,
But
isn't
as
it?
a an adult unit, like if I was to produce another child unit, like
Hmm.
I couldn't. I mean, I didn't anyway. But like I could not have them
I
call me
think
daddy.
Barber's.
I wanted papa. I
Hmm.
tried to induce papa into the children, but they just fucking wouldn't buy it. It's sad.
M the Mighty.
Papa,
Don't
just
call
look,
me
papa.
Barber. Call me
Please
M
help
the
me.
Mighty.
The mighty. I think they just call me dad. Actually, I don't think
Yeah,
one of them calls
Dad's
me
better.
anything.
I mean,
I think one of them
I'd be
calls me
happy
dad.
with
The other one calls me
parental
nothing.
unit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
parental
yeah, well,
unit
true. Yeah, that's
would
fine.
serve purpose. Be in a spaceship.
What do you? And still trying to keep this, like, of course, non-doxing way. So we have to
Yeah,
be very thoughtful
I
about
know.
what I'm about to
We are
ask.
thoughtful. We are thoughtful. We appreciate all instances.
What's the youngling like? Because you're not really. I mean, you are still technically the parental unit, but like
Yeah.
on a legal level, like that's kind of skipped now. What?
Well, he's adult. I guess I've got
Has
to.
he started to have plans?
Well,
Like
again,
fuck you, I'm going.
talking,
Bye. Was that?
talking, talking
It's
to
curious,
him
eh?
about it, but yeah, he seems happy just to be the coattail sailor.
Hmm. Well, you don't have much choice anymore, anyway. I mean, what are you going to do?
Well,
We talked about
we've
that
already
last week, but
we've sort of discussed it.
hmm.
Ad,
Okay. So you
adult,
had a
adult,
discussion.
adult education to complete.
Any
Minimal,
interest though?
minimal, or something that doesn't
Like, can it be targeted, like a
something that
specific
doesn't
interest
affect
or
the
something?
environment, but is important for progression of humanity.
They want to do that, or you suggested that?
Oh, they wanted
Oh, they wanted it. Okay,
hmm,
right. Wow. Okay, right. Wow. Wow. Wow.
something that doesn't harm nature and promotes nature, but um,
Oh, wow. Well, he's really doubling down on the anti-Musk fucking statement there. That's great.
was previously communist orientated, but now more understands the purpose of capitalism.
Ah. Yeah, and the underlying purpose of capitalism isn't necessarily negative. It's like,
No,
but the way that it's been implemented is like fucking. That's not. It's actually not capitalism. It's
no,
just like
no.
yeah, yeah. It's abuse on
Yeah,
mass
yeah,
scale.
true.
Like,
Yeah.
but as with
Let's
communism, all
let's
the
not
isms
let's
they
not get
just
started in fiat
no.
currencies and that sort of
No,
shit.
because well, but all of them. I'm not even having a go at capitalism. Like all of the isms, just
I
they
mean,
they
it
they
is
peak
just it
out
is it
into
is just
bullshit.
my head on a piece of paper is worth more than your head on a piece of paper, right?
Jesus,
Fuck's sake.
I wish my character could. Like, I'm trying to roll my eyes. There we go. Did I just succeed? It's like, yeah, I think I did. I think I rolled my eyes.
Hmm. And
Yeah, I did
that's
it.
only going to be evident in uh, now that the petrodollar is no longer tied to single currency, you know, multiple currencies. Going to see some definite exchange rate differences that will reflect on value of the currency that is traded rather than set to a single currency dictate the value of the currency. What I'm trying to say is the US petrodollar agreement with
Is
is now over, officially over. So
oh really?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
it?
yeah.
What the US? Hang on. I don't. You were actually telling me something there, weren't you? I thought you
Yeah.
were just
I
riffing.
no,
Um,
I wasn't really. Yeah. Being
hang on. So what?
educational.
Please
Yeah.
do. So what? The like the oil barrel thing isn't linked to the US dollar anymore.
No.
Oh, when? What? What
And
happened there?
it can be linked to any currency. So yeah.
When did OPEC do that?
Well,
Just recently.
the trade agreement has expired and it was
Oh,
not
and it doesn't suit.
not renewed. There were
Doesn't suit.
the Arab Emirates have decided that there are other currencies which
More.
are probably more
Hmm, hmm.
acceptable than the
What that aren't
current.
like,
Yeah,
8 trillion in the hole or whatever it is. Or even, fuck
yeah,
knows.
yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I think like actually, how you were talking about Bezo
Yeah.
and his like, I actually saw that short yesterday
Okay.
or maybe this morning, and I was like, that's yeah, okay, but that's basically the US government's whole approach, isn't it?
Hmm. Hmm.
That they just take out bigger debts to cover the bigger debts to
Of
cover the bigger
course.
debts, and
Of
this,
course.
and hopefully and no one gives a
It
fuck
is the
because
way.
whoever
Oh,
did that, they'll be dead, and someone else's problem. Push
hang
it
on.
down the line.
Gonna be some
Push it.
package.
Oh wow, what's this?
I had to.
So what do we want to do next step, man? What are we doing season 5?
Yeah, season 5. Some more VR, I think. I think that's what we really true. Some VR good. Just trying to think. I don't
Well,
know.
okay. Hang
Maybe
on. Here we
we
go.
do a bit more of this, and then
What if this is going to be hard on our brains? I might puke a bit. What if we played a combat game,
in VR,
like in VR while talking?
doing the cheaping.
Like where we're shooting the fuck out of each other and shit. You know.
Actually, that might work.
What's that game? Well, hang on, I'll load up Oculus. I just want to see what there's an app.
One
What's
that's
it called?
common between both of ours.
Yeah, it's just this one. It's like really, it's puke inducing because it's full movement.
Yeah.
We've
We're
got to,
gonna
we got to
be
train up, bro.
keep the buckets handy.
Yeah. Population Phoenix. I don't want to play a Royale type game. That's not really what I mean.
Puking in front of others, sharing the joy.
Oh no, just the new release.
Hmm.
VR chat. Okay, hang on. Let's
Yeah. I updated just recently.
what are the release notes? What does it do? Anything useful?
I haven't got.
It's looking making it look real big and excited.
Yeah.
No, what was it? Oh, hang on.
And
Hang on.
I
What's
still
this?
do have that converter. I have
No, what's
the
this? What's this?
import your own VRML models.
No, welcome to the virtual world. Our world-class VR. Oh, boring.
Sad
Sad.
face.
Sad face. I thought for a moment that someone had a brain, but failed. No. Okay, so where's the store? And the game is called
Searching.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. The Climb. Oh, sports arcade. What about this? Actually, it might terrify me. Something called there was something the Climb too.
Yeah.
Is it hang on, I've got to actually bring up I've got to filter. Why am I in guest mode?
I had to put some food in the bag. Super sandwich.
Hunger. So search. I thought there was a thing in here in the store where I could filter. It was. It used to be a. Oh, they've dropped it.
Dropped it.
Well, I don't know. Where's this? They used to have a thing where you could search by like you could say like show me multiplayer games or show me like only.
Oh, tightening the genre for
Yeah, but it seemed okay. Search. Oh, search.
I'm gonna have to open.
Yeah, go. Search keywords. What are you looking for? I'm looking
I normally
for
close it down just to save bandwidth.
multiplayer. You muppets.
Cross-platform multiplayer.
Oh, hang on. Hunt together.
Sounds dangerous.
I'm not really into horror, but shootout. 4 stars. All this.
It's a few. There's actually a I don't know whether up
The
up
hard,
up
the
up
hard bit is
up.
just finding out whether it works on both. Can you see if you've got a game called Shootout? Shootout VR. Multiplayer experience. You come out your own hero. Express yourself. Play with friends or battle alone. Spend game modes. Explore the depth of the that this game has to offer. Strategy PVE arena, and then 3x3 PvP. I don't know that it. Yeah. Shootout VR. It's hard to say. Like Sometimes they tell you if something's on. Why can't I? Yeah, you used to be able to say like multiplayer FPS, like whatever you wanted, and it would
lock into that. Genre.
like they were tagged, across platform even. It's actually, I got to say, one of the things I've found about VR is this real limiter. It's like so hard to know. Like, I look at this one, it's like, oh, okay, here's something called Max Mustard. Can you play it? I don't know. Like you got to go. The stores aren't very useful. They're all like,
No.
oh, well, you're like.
Fuck. Yeah.
So that is it'll take a little while to figure it out. Um, uh, uh, Max Mustard, eh?
Is there
You can't
another
see it?
name for it? Max Mustard, was it?
No, 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 no,
I can't find
bullshit.
Shootout VR.
No, but that's what I mean. No, it's not weird. It's just that it's
Showing
just
me.
not cool. It's fucking hard, man. Like to find something that we can both play. It's going to be we'll have to like be offline and because it'll be boring as shit. There'll be no content for us to
Yeah.
capture out of us trying to find that. But I mean, we could do something like that. So we're playing a game and while talking, or
Easy.
um,
It's just finding something that's cross-platform compatible.
yeah, because then if I sent you the thing, like we could set it up so that we were to like so it was two halves of the screen, and then we're both our views as we're talking crap, and
It's
then
just,
that's one
shooting
option.
the
I
shit.
mean, what else? Like, here's my take. I don't really want to say this, but I don't know. Maybe it's season 6 that we do it, but I reckon we should be streaming from the Real Talkers Cheap channel on YouTube. Like, I guess like on a platform level,
Yeah.
if we were really trying to get that. But the Twitch is a little better for the
Mm.
stream, as we've talked about. We've figured out that like,
It's easier, and
but to me, I think that the audience for
we
this at
can
the
get
moment,
away with a certain amount of things without being, you know,
I swear to fuck,
as
it
long
will
as we
take us
don't
a year, man.
as long as we don't go through the butt crack or the nipples debacle again, it's safe.
Well, I think the thing is like, I don't know. I reckon I don't actually think. I think that we will need a whole year of content every week just slamming into YouTube from all of our shorts and things before we start getting like real
True hits from
attendance. Well,
fans.
attendance during the stream. I mean, and also from our perspective, well, I don't know, from my perspective at least, is that the stream version, like what we're doing right now, it's just a convenience because really this is just the content generator. Like
Yeah,
this is where we're
yeah.
making our content. Like it's
Creating the
what we're just
content,
live making it.
and then I'm obviously going through that dump and sending you over
That's what the main
hard
purpose of
hard
this
file.
is.
Yeah, the
Like
creation,
um
of the media. Yeah,
mm, mm,
which we're then going to chop up into bits,
yeah.
depending on the subject matter.
So do, I don't know. Do you think we've had more? Do you think we've had more followers on one or the other? I mean,
I think when it comes to the online content, I mean, unless you know, you've always said that you don't want to interact with the chatters. So that to me, like in either of the platforms, like we
yeah.
do look at it and
Hmm.
we're distracted by it. So
Yeah, but I don't. I think.
and I know when I watch other content from other
Hmm.
content makers, like if there's a chat going on, like I'll be reading while I'm listening to their content. So
But that's the idea, and then they get into their conversations. Like,
yeah, because
you
they
know,
do. Most of them do. Like half of the
mm,
chats do have their own
they're in their own world,
separate
man.
separate fucking conversation going on about just
Mm,
about any bull.
mm. And that's the idea.
And
You're
I always
forming
jump in there going fishing for likes. Like I make absolutely clear that I'm not, you know, half the time I'm in there just to, stir up a bit of the wasp nest and then disappear. Whatever the general chat
Oh,
is, as
no,
long
you're
as I,
doing that.
long as I don't completely, get out of bounds and get banned for something, which I never do. Like all I do is like it doesn't take much petrol to start a decent bonfire. You know what I mean?
But you're going to but do you, is that when you do that? Is that mainly like Manosphere or like
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
conspiratorial, like
yeah, yeah. Any
whackverse? Like,
wacky shit. Yeah, yeah. I'll just I take it. I
you
take
just
it a
go and
step
torment the
further.
fuck
Like
out of them.
if you want to be crazy about this shit, let's just step it up about 10,000 levels. You know what I mean? Like yeah, yeah. Let's really get our money's
100%, man.
let's get our money's worth out of
I
this.
was,
You know,
I
you
remember
know.
I was living in the north there with you, and
There's too
I was
there's too many conspira facts coming true. So let's make conspiracy fucking nuts again. You know. You know,
you got to level up.
I hate this conspiracy fact going on. I want to keep it conspiracy.
And
Yeah.
people don't get nuts enough about this stuff. Like, it was funny. I remember like being back in the Bris Vegas,
Mm.
and where was I? I was with environmentalists and shit, and like,
Yeah, yeah.
and then there's all the whole peak oil, and they're all like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
we've got to stop. Oh, fucking, we should stop driving a cars, listening to all this stuff. I was like, why is that? Well, but wouldn't that just make the oil last longer?
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if you try and like make it all efficient, and you're like trying to like not drive it. So what you're trying to say is you want the oil to
Want the
keep
oil to
lasting, so
last
we'll keep
longer.
using,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we'll keep using it,
No,
because that's what'll happen.
we should all buy fucking V8s and just chewing it up like it's it's like drinking seawater.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. If you want to like solve the situation, then you just burn the fuck out of it as fast as humanly possible. Just brand V8s, two V8s. We want dual V8s. I
Yep.
don't think a single
Yeah, yeah.
V8's enough.
Yeah. No, no.
You want to give your
No,
kids
you want
V8s.
quad V8s. One
One,
V8 for each wheel. And just
that's right.
have this
That
monster
fixes.
machine just tearing up roads, like continuous road surfacing, because of all the the
And that's what you
road.
want, man.
Yeah,
That's the way to get past peak oil, is
yeah.
just to get it there as fast
Just
as possible. Because
use
then
it
we'll
up.
solve it. Because
Sorry,
then we'll solve it.
we don't have any left.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We'll have to go electric. Done.
Oh well,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Everyone would happily move then.
Mm-mm. Instantly.
Yeah. Not even
Oh,
a
there's
question.
no other option? Okay, we're doing it?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So just,
Sorry, we burned it up and we used it up and now there's none left. This is your only option.
hmm.
Real sorry. No turning back now. There's your replacement.
But it will all go into the atmosphere. Yeah, we'll solve that.
No,
Don't worry
no,
about it.
no, no, no.
Mm, we'll solve that. Don't
Done.
worry about it.
All done.
Because that'll be the end.
Yeah.
Like, it's like if you're doing like documents, if you have like a heap of stuff to work on, but once you get to that point, then you're only adding a little bit. Like, you're only adding the next bit. So I think like with that, like, yeah, once you've like got all of the shit into the atmosphere, then we just scrub that shit out and it's done. At the moment we're trying to scrub it out while adding more. That's stupid.
No,
Like, why do
no,
that?
no. It
It's fucking
has to
waste of time.
finish and
Mm,
then the proper
mm-hmm,
scrubbing can complete. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. Well,
No dependence on the fire burning, but more the however else. Yeah.
well, I think we're at like,
We choose to go to the moon again, even though we destroyed the technology and it's very difficult to build back again. We choose to go to the moon and do the other thing, Si.
what was the other
Please
thing?
don't shoot me in the head. Yeah, I'm not going to
What was the other
cruise
thing?
around in an open
And do the other
Who
thing.
knows what the other thing was? Was it creating disguises so you could have a body double with
Let's find out.
perfect
Let's find out.
face and
Let's
like
go on, man.
the costume department of the CIA.
Let's see what. Who was
You
it? It
know,
was JFK, wasn't it?
Obama
Wasn't it
playing.
JFK said that?
Obama playing him. Yeah, that's it. Do the other thing. Yeah, we choose to go to the moon, do the other thing. And I never understood it.
Okay.
Is
When
the other
JFK said,
is the
I'm
other
asking.
yeah, the other thing is when I guess don't question authority, otherwise you end up with JFK multiple angle shot in the head videos. Just to remember who's in charge.
So here we go. So, oh yeah, nice. Um, we choose to go to the moon in this decade and
Yep.
do the other
Other
things,
thing.
not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because they go will serve and organize, measure the best of our.
Blah blah blah.
It was part of a larger context where JFK emphasized the importance
Yep.
of choosing to face difficult challenges.
Yes.
That's a bit
Like
loose, eh? That's no,
rights and
that's not. No, that's
was...
not what he meant. No, that's quite specific. It's even the answer to it's very like, oh yeah, he just meant do other hard things. Maybe he was talking about something particularly hard
the other
that needed doing.
the other thing of populus reductionaris.
Yes, Monroe. Hard.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Indeed. Well, unless you're going to create me unless we're going to create me an epic editing nightmare.
Yes, that's it. We're just on the verge of the 4
this is already going to be
so
like. It's actually interesting. One of the things I have to
press
say.
I'm going to press it with this final final gift of the. I've done well tonight. I had to put this.
I was trying to work out like the feasibility of this creature.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I actually went back to the image a couple of times. It's like, would an animal require breasts that like? I was also thinking like, would it be suitable for like that mouth type?
I
suppose the little mouths.
They would get in the way unless she.
I think
had
they
some
have
sort of transformation ability to go into. Or to be.
I think they have 4 teats on each.
Yeah.
I think that's what we can't see.
Happy
4 nipples.
Is that what they call it? Happy suckler.
Yeah, four nipples
teats,
on each.
4 teats in one. Oh,
that's it. Yeah.
Like in a right.
Well, no, but you'd have
rather
4.
being in
a
long in like
look
strip,
at that left. Look at the squishing of her right breast. It's like, hang on, I gotta get out of the way.
Yeah.
It's just like it's ridiculous. What the hell is that? It's a torpedo.
Yeah. It's definitely a bomb shape going. Is that some sort of new aerial?
Man, that's crazy shit.
Aerial.
You just press a navel and it just flies out.
If that was an unidentified flying object, I'd be on it straight away.
All teats.
In the mouth, one mouth.
That's it. Squirting.
Feed me, mother
fountain
goddess.
of dog.
Feed me my dog
Mother
milk. Give me my dog milk.
Feed me the dog milk.
All right, I'm gonna roll the crit. Outro is good. Boot. Thanks, guys, and hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy it. Important that when you do come here for our cheapening creation content, have enjoyed.
Yes.
Saying you're forced to, but do enjoy. Otherwise, don't.
Forced.
Say
enjoyment is. Well, I mean, in that realm, I mean, enjoyment is like where you accept being forced, isn't it? Like you're being forced. You're like, oh, okay. Well, I might just receive that since I've got no other fucking choice.
You have no choices.
That's it.